Come up. Okay. There it goes. So,
like really competitive entrants,
Yeah.
they can still go to.
okay, it's not, what did I do to do this? There we go. There's that. Okay. Alright. So, let's do this. And
A really good university. Well, like all universities are good.
Sure, these guys are just going to make the argument in the inverse. And they say, okay, well, the black people can go to those other universities, but Ivy Leagues should be referred to the people that score the absolute best, not the ones that get affirmative action in.
alright.
This debate about masculinity about 6 months ago, and they put up on one of the
Chris has been having some good guests and good showings recently.
segments.
I'll
I was
change a little bit.
pro-traditional masculinity, and there was a gentleman on the other side, and they said, here is a montage of some unspeakable people that represent masculinity. And there was Joe Rogan and John Peterson and blah, 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 blah. But the first person was Milo Yiannopoulos. I said, look, if you have brought me to the Middle East to defend Milo Yiannopoulos, you have brought the wrong person. I'm like, that we need to shift that, get that to one side. Milo can go over there. Do you see his debate with Destiny?
Okay. So, my takes on Milo is it's kind of fallen, and I liked him early on mainly because he was just pissing people off, and I thought it was funny. I don't think there's anything wrong with just being a fucking dick and pissing people off, just to piss them off. Like being like as what he used to call himself. He used to call himself a provocateur. I think it's fine. Um, the way he is now, he seems to be very grifty now, and it kind of sucks because I liked him a little bit, and I think he was wrongfully like banned from Twitter and stuff. It's like, who gives a fuck if he called some fucking stupid actress like fucking ugly? Who gives a fuck? You can't control what your fan base does. I mean, you can encourage them not to. You can be like, hey, please don't, for my sake or whatever. But yeah, you can't, for the most part, do anything about that. It's like, that push is like, fuck you, man. I'll do what I want.
Welcome to the party, Commander. We're ready to
Jordan Peterson. I love Jordan Peterson, man. Like, he's like on my list of people I would love to fucking meet. Like Jordan Peterson's. I've got 12 Rules for Life over there behind me. I have a copy of his book. I haven't read through the whole thing, I'll admit that. But what I've read like the first 3, maybe 4 chapters. It's really good, very insightful. If you don't own a copy, or if you can borrow a copy from someone, please do. It's a good read. At least so far. I haven't finished it, but so far, good read. And Joe Rogan being like far right, that's just fucking stupid, man. That guy's as left comes. I think he's just tired, like most people, of the bullshit that's just going on. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like mostly peaceful protests from the left, really. You can't, you really can't say it's hard to say mostly peaceful. I mean, I get that the protest itself was peaceful. I get it, but optically, you can't say mostly peaceful when there's fires burning around you when you're reporting on this shit. It doesn't look good.
That he did a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago now. Milo looked like a old touring singer in a rock band, still doing the shows but can't hit the high notes anymore. And the whimsy and that sort of playful jester joker kind of gamesmanship had been abandoned in place of bottom of the barrel backbiting and genuine emotional sniping. And then Destiny said, after he's been pushed and pushed and pushed for 90 minutes, he says to Destiny, back in the olden times, they would have left your kind on the side of a hill to die. And Destiny said, well, I think that the gays would have been left there first. Milo said,
okay, and for the most part, I really like Destiny. I don't agree with him on quite a few things, but I feel like he's very reasonable. For the most part, I think he's a reasonable person, and I think he has the ability to see things from multiple viewpoints. I don't always have that. I can kind of tunnel vision. It's one of my weaknesses that I'm trying to work on. So I can kind of tunnel vision on and dig my heels in on a point and become completely unbudging. And I think that's good for some points because that really it really makes you firm in your beliefs, but also it doesn't give you room to kind of evaluate your belief system at that point, which is something that I think everybody should work on.
Said, well, I don't think that you can tell whether a baby's going to like dick when it comes out or not. Destiny said, well, you'd know all about young boys liking, wouldn't you?
Wow.
Bro, you got so mad at that.
Yeah, I did.
Why are you giving me? Why are you making me sound like an unhinged loser?
I did watch that debate. Yeah, it was. And okay, Destiny did say that, but he started attacking his wife, and it's like, and his I guess like their marriage, like they have an open marriage, and I think like that if you attack somebody, you kind of give it free rein to attack them back. Like I don't knock them for that. It's usually not good faith to do that, but like when you do that to someone, you kind of open the door to do it.
Lunatic, Chris, what are you doing?
And it broke Milo. It broke his brain. Sorry, what was that? And no one had any sympathy because for 90 minutes he'd called Destiny's wife a public fleshlight. He'd said everything under the sun.
He goes over it. Yeah.
Why are we dealing with these people?
Because it is entertainment. It is mental masturbation. A story about people will always be more seductive to a...
You reacted to Uber Clip Chimp Lefty Twitter garbage the other day about fat British anti-woke at Destiny, super out of context. Oh yeah?
broader group than a story about ideas.
Oh, come on.
Got it.
I think. Am I wrong?
I don't know. There's
Despairing?
so much stuff. So much beauty in this world. I wonder, at what point does middle school...
Hassan comments on your debate.
Hassan? I'm talking about Disney's debate performance. Uh-oh.
Bro, I'm surprised he didn't rip a new asshole into the
What else going on out there?
Like, that's legitimately shocking. Another way. It's appreciate our welcome.
I don't want to. I'll do this tonight because I'm gonna do this all tonight. By the way, I don't know if you guys know.
And what we're listening to is like Destiny's. We're listening to Destiny react to a video. We're reacting to Destiny react to a video. But he usually gives pretty good takes, so that's why I'm listening to this. And he's pretty. I don't know. He's pretty. I guess he's pretty big. He's got a sizable fan base, which is good for him. Like, he deserves it. He put the work in. I think if you put the work in, I'm all for like some form of like meritocracy. I think meritocracy is good for the most part. get out of here and heal up. Fuck, man.
Ready for anything.
Before I hop back into the video, I'm gonna take care of this business. This is, I can't look away. I can't multitask like that.
Firing,
Let's
Commander.
take this shit
They can't
down.
take much more.
Take this shit down. Yeah, one more shot bomb. Alright, cool. Boom.
Light is going down. Mop up distractions.
Alright, let's go. Oh, there they come. So yeah, I can. I haven't watched a lot of the Jubilee things, but I have,
my fucking brain.
I watched some.
Every single time these fucking losers are like on their streams being like,
Oh, I hate debate bros. Oh, I hate debating. Oh, I hate debate bros. Oh, I hate debate bros. But you put a black person in front of you disagree with, and all of a sudden you want me to turn into a fucking, like, come on, dude, really?
Okay, about the debate bro thing. Like I don't think I'm. I haven't really done it very much, but I think it's a skill that you can refine. I'm not good at debating, so therefore not a debate bro. But I can have a conversation with someone. Ah man, I get this fucking hangnail. I would more than willing have a conversation with somebody. Absolutely. I think talking to people, especially those who differ from you, is a very smart thing to do.
The name of the show is Middle Ground, you autistic retard. Like, what do you expect me to do? It's called Middle Ground. They literally tell you when you go on, like, hey, make sure you let everybody talk. I'll say it later. We're gonna find it, because I'll watch this all later.
Destiny reacting to XQC reacting to Hassan reacting to Jubilee. Content Centipede.
Plan for the stream. I think this stream, because I can only stream for like 2.5 hours, I think I'm probably just gonna watch the Jubilee thing. Ack wants you on his pod. He talked about you on his latest pod. Wait, where does Ack live? Is he in LA?
Quick hello from France. Big fan.
Keeper kick moment of the year.
Yeah, like me and Teddy want to get some people on the podcast. We want to start doing guests and stuff. Absolutely, it would be fun. But it's gonna have to be like when his whole like living situation settles down. He's with a newborn baby who like wakes up at the drop of a fucking dime. So we're gonna have to wait on that. Unfortunately for us, because it's kind of slowed our content creation down. Oh, we gotta get this dude. Come on, boom. Come on. Come here. We gotta get this dude. We can't let him, gotta go over there and get that dude.
One more boom. All in the placement.
Catch up to that guy. Yeah, like guests are like a huge thing that we want to do. Where'd he go? Oh, come on, stop fucking doing this to me. Alright, so we gotta go back this way. There's one coming down the road now.
Okay.
I got over it.
Okay,
I'm
Clint.
cool now.
Clint, go ahead and tell me what's your answer.
I'll tell you what. My answer is going to be an audio thing here. Look at this.
Wait, Clint. You know we can't hear whatever you're playing in the background.
You can't hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Let me just I guess improv it for you. Ow, stop hitting me! Ow, God, claw! Get off me! Ouch! Oh, ouch, ouch! Yeah, probably cancel the fucking woman beater. It wasn't a YouTube boxing match.
I don't know who the fuck they are. I mean, they're probably more famous than me, but I just don't know who the hell they are. I have no clue.
Jesus Christ, now you're a human trafficker too. The bitch has got so bad a psychosis.
Is that not showing up?
Clark went to prison right after this because
So
he
if
wouldn't
I
beat his girl
tab
up in the
out-
middle of the show. I know, yeah. Hello.
So,
It goes away.
Yo, what? Did you just wake up?
yeah.
It's weird.
Wow. What's up?
So, saw the Jubilee video. I didn't watch the entire thing. I skipped over some shit that I thought was kind of boring, like the end. But I saw the affirmative action part. I thought that was the most interesting, probably. Maybe the reparations thing too.
Okay.
If you're down to talk about that. But I wanted to talk about some of the bad takes those black conservatives had on affirmative action. The strongest argument I think they really had was that affirmative action made them feel like they were getting into school without actually accomplishing anything, and they felt like ashamed of themselves compared to their peers because they actually had to work for it, but they didn't. Well, supposedly the inverse would be true, where if it's especially hard, then you have more to be proud of. Which is strange because they complained about Asians not being able to get into schools like Harvard without like extremely high SAT scores. So it just seemed like an argument that didn't.
Okay, so my take on affirmative action. I think it was good in the past, like especially for school, right? It let people get into schools that they probably wouldn't have gotten into otherwise, regardless of merit. But now, and this is a
It's the insects who sank my ship
I
and
don't
stole my
know
property.
the stats on it. I'll look it up here in a second.
Hero.
But
We're here to deliver a message to Zaitan, and it requires your corpse.
it feels like when
After I devour you
black
and all you possess,
students get in with lower scores to the Ivy League colleges or universities,
Come and get me,
they
Bellyface.
seem to
If you do swallow me, I'll
not
make
be
sure
able to
stick
keep
in
up
your
because they
throat.
had to have a lower requirement to get in, so they had a lower standard of education prior, and they can't meet the education doesn't meet the level of entry, right? Like, so they get out like the education set for like the tier 3 type player, but we'll put it in like some League of Legends or like just some like competitive game. So you're like a bronze player got on the team with like the platinums or whatever. They're like on a platinum team, and it's a so they're kind of. I don't even think that analogy is good, to be honest with you. I don't know. So like they can't. The standard of education is too high for what they were used to, and they end up flunking. They end up dropping out of college, which puts them into debt.
Did you hear that?
That's
the sound of a cranky
and because those colleges are like hundreds of $1,000s a year or some shit. When a community college is like, because I'm going to a community college. You know, I'm going to a community college. I'm going for engineering.
I actually agree with you.
I'll have my
Feel right. Can't have Traherne's
my
food
associates in
claptrap spoiling
applied
decades of
science
interlegion rivalry.
after I'm done. But it just seems like
Not only did we kill
it might
them
be
out, but we've
beneficial in
got
some
Small and Yelena
senses,
making nice.
but it's not beneficial in others.
They deserve to celebrate.
And then there has
We all
been
do.
several
Traherne's taking Zaitan
times
down, one
where,
step at a time.
like this is just brought up there,
Gotta get back
that
to Fort Trinity with the good news. We'll
you
clean up
might
here.
not think that you got on
Pleasure
based on
serving
your
with you,
merit,
Commander.
just based on the color of your skin, and I get that could be disheartening to a sense. I think it could be upsetting to hear or think about that. Yeah, just my thoughts. It's not that I don't think affirmative action is like an entirely bad program. I just think it's been used negatively too. So like Asian students are being penalized for being too smart, and they have to score higher than everybody else does, even the white students, and it's kind of like the reverse of affirmative action, really. Like that's not fair. I think there should be one standard to get in, and everybody should be able to meet that standard. And if you can't, like, I'm sorry, maybe you're not meant to go to this school. Yeah, if it's your dream, it sucks. Most people don't get to live out their dreams, and that is unfortunate. Going back to fortunately. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame. All right.
Really make any sense to me. They're claiming that affirmative action's bad because you have students feeling like they didn't accomplish anything, and they were talking about getting criticism from their peers, like they only got in because they're black. Well, again, the inverse would be true. So Asians should be happy that it's harder to get into Harvard, because
well, I think you're trying to apply like some statistical, logistical, rationalized like lens or whatever. But I don't think that's how it works. I think it's just most people will just look at it and go, "Oh, blacks have an easier time because of affirmative action. That makes me feel like a retard."
Yeah,
I think that's how most people.
Well,
okay, so I don't think I don't think most people think of it like that. I don't think most people think of affirmative action as black people just have it easier. I'm not saying that there's nobody who thinks of it that way. I think most people just think it's like an unfair system that that might deprive someone who got there based off merit, and that could also be merit could also be there, getting through and graduating due to like having limited resources and stuff like that. So that's something that I think might be considered when applying for a college or a job. Like this person has persevered through X amount of things, and now, where's my hand at? Where are we at here? So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it is on the camera. So X amount of things, and that might look better on an application versus someone whose parents were rich, but they did well in school. They you know, and maybe more than the other applicant, but they had to go through less to get there. And in a sense, so that might be pretty good. I don't know. That just might be a way forward, because that could apply to a white student who also had limited resources as well, or an Asian student or Hispanic student, or just anybody, based off socioeconomic things, not just based off of skin color. I think that would be a better and more equal way of looking at it.
Oh, I know. And I knew a guy who said he felt like that after going to university. But,
Vegan Gain sounds so fucking smug. I don't know what it is, it's just his fucking voice. He just sounds smug. I don't know, I don't think he's being smug. I think he's being sincere and is like, hey, I knew a guy. It's just like every word that comes out of his mouth sounds so smug. I don't know, it irritates me.
Again, if they're going to use that as an argument in support of the idea against affirmative action, yet they rope Asians in here as an argument that, oh, this is why affirmative action's bad, because it's so much harder for them. like again, the inverse would be true. So it shouldn't really be a problem. If,
The difference,
like,
yeah, real quick, just the difference is emotionally is because if you have a track, okay, like this is what this is kind of what like minority struggle is. Okay, let me explain this to you as a white guy. Okay, if you have a track, okay, and in one track you've got a fuck ton of like bumps and rocks and hurdles or whatever, and then you've got another track, and at the very end you just have one really big wall you've got to climb. People are going to view the really big wall as always being harder, even if the entire road is smooth. That's why people look at affirmative action and they don't see all the little bumps that a particular minority might have to go through throughout their life. They just see the fact that at the end of the road, they don't have any big obstacles like a higher SAT or ACT score to jump over, and they think that it's simpler. But they'll look at the Asian person
Right.
and they'll ignore the wealthy background, that culture that
Well, I
pushes
know.
them to study, all that. Yeah, but I'm not okay, don't say I know. I'm not arguing with you, okay? And I'm not trying to say you're right or wrong. I'm telling you that this is how people view it. It's very human. It will likely never change. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably right about that. He's probably right. For the most part, people aren't very introspective on most things. Something like that. Okay, this wolf. 3K? Yeah, okay. This is the bar. Excuse me. Yeah, like, maybe. So, maybe that's the case. But that there may have been a lot of bumps in the road, right? And that may trip you, right? But if there's an insurmountable wall in front of you at the end of the pathway, like here, like this might be unclimbable, right? These seem surmountable, and there are a lot. Yes, there are a lot. Yeah, and yes, this road is smooth, but I think I would rather do this than do this. I would rather go through some hardship earlier on in my life and then have a smooth path later on than have it easy early on in my life and then just get fucking roadblocked. That's just me personally. Other people might think of it differently. But when you have little roadblocks in your way constantly, you can get past them according to this because it's a straight path. When you put a X height amount wall in front of your way, and I know it's just an analogy, but just based off this analogy, I would rather have this than this.
So, right. Well, I understand that perspective, but like what really again, logically, if we're going to talk about affirmative action being bad because certain students feel like they haven't really accomplished anything and other people are judging them because, oh, you only got into the school because you're black.
Okay, for one thing, who gives a fuck what other people say about you? Like really? Like, at this point, like, who gives a fuck? Like, people can say whatever the fuck they want about me. They've been saying it for, like, X amount of years about me. Like, who fucking cares? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, the most, like, relieving feeling that I've had, like, the most relief, the weight lifted off my shoulders, is when I stopped giving a fuck about what other people thought of me. Like, that right there. And I know not everybody can do that. I know it's hard. I know, because I know people have this huge aching to want to be liked. And I get it because I was there. I had that. Like, man, it used to really bother me when someone didn't like me. And then one day, and this was fairly early on in my life. It was probably like my senior year in high school. So like, I was not a popular kid. Not a popular kid. Surprise. Not a popular guy. I was not popular, so I like my freshman year. It sucked early on because I had no friends, and then the second semester of my freshman year, I had just this large group of friends, and it was awesome, and I didn't care. Like, we were pretty fine, but the first little while, it was just like, it sucks. So like, why doesn't anybody like me? Why don't I have any friends? Like, life just fucking sucks. I would do my homework during lunch because I didn't have anybody to talk to. And I'd sit out in the courtyard and I'd draw. That's literally all I used to do. And then I met my friends, and that changed. But then, here we go again, another change. I moved my junior year, and my junior year was hell. Again, no friends, because I moved to a school district where everybody grew up together. It was a small town, so everybody grew up together, and they knew each other since like kindergarten and shit. And when you're a new kid going to that close-knit group, if you don't fit in right away, you're never gonna fucking fit in. And it sucked. It sucked a lot. And I was lonely. And then, like, after that year, and I got bullied a lot too. There's just a bunch of shit going on. It was just a terrible time all around for me. But during that summer, I was like, man, why don't these people like me? Why don't these people like me at all? And then I sat there during that summer, and then I got to see my friends from my old school during the summer, like, because we could hang out and shit. They weren't very. We didn't move very far away. It was just I wasn't in the same school district, so I had to put up with a bunch of different other bullshit. Because my dad got out of the military, so we weren't able to go to the pretty much on-base high school for me anymore. Like, my sister, she's always been good at making friends. Me, not so. I'm pretty shy. I was pretty shy. And then I had this epiphany during the summer between my junior and senior year. And I was like, why the fuck do I care? In the moment, like, that thought, like, the weight was just lifted from my shoulders. And I know that's not a thing that works for everybody, because most people like to be liked. And I also like to be liked. I just don't care if someone doesn't like me. That's the big thing. And there's plenty of valid reasons to not like me. I'm an asshole a lot of the time. Like, I'm very what I consider to be pragmatic, which people tend to take as negativity. I don't think I'm very negative, but I'm just very pragmatic. So if I think something's bad, I think most things that happen in life are bad. Most things that are going to happen in your life are not going to be good. They're going to be bad for the most part, for most people, anyways. And you're going to have more negative experiences in your life than positive ones. And I just am awake to that fact. Most people don't want to be. And that's fine. It's fine. I think it's a strong character trait if you can look on the world positively. I just don't. I never have. I've never been able to. And maybe that's because I've had a lot of negative experiences early on. Maybe not. I don't know. Like, it remains yet to be seen. Like, I haven't really looked on this. I haven't really thought about this until now, to be honest with you. This is why I look in the world. I mean, I guess I need to be more introspective in myself and look into such things. A better thought process. Jump down there. But that moment that I had this feeling, it was a relief. It was a relief. It really was. Like, I woke up and I was like, wow, man, I feel pretty good. And it was actually one of the very few times in my life that I actually did feel good about myself. Early on. Because most of the time when you're in high school, if you're not popular, you probably feel pretty bad about yourself, let's be honest. Like, you might have your friends, and your friends make you feel relatively good. But for the most part, because you're not, because you're not the popular crowd, you probably feel a bit ostracized, and you probably feel a little bit jaded in the situation. I mean, I get it. I was the same way. That's why I know. That's why I know most people feel like it does. It feels great to be liked. I get it. I guess I just found more fulfilling ways because I'm a fairly nice guy, as much as people think that I'm a dick sometimes. Like I'm very generous. I take care of my friends. If my friends need something from me or they need help with something, I'm there. I'm there for you. And I don't ask for anything in return because you're my friend. That's what friends are for. We're here to help each other. Like, the friends I have, they have been close to me as family, like brothers. Like Teddy, the guy I do a podcast with, Barely a Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Or on Spoofy, Spotify, and Amazon and iPod, Apple Podcast, whatever the fuck it's called. Check us out on those, and yeah, you can hear his sultry voice. But yeah, like he's like me and him became fast friends, like instantly, like my best friend. It's fucking awesome. Anyways, and I cared very deeply what he thinks of me. So people that matter to me a lot, I care what they think. But people care too much about people that aren't close to them, what they think. I think that's the problem.
Like, again, that would make it a bad argument against affirmative action in the case of when they use Asians as an example, because again, they have as the black people said, they have a heart
out of
better healthcare with actual savings? Sounds like a dream.
Context. Oh yeah.
Broad group and a story about ideas.
Got it.
I think. Am I wrong?
I don't know. There's
Despairing?
so much stuff, so much beauty in this world. I wonder at what point does middle school...
Okay. Hassan comments on your debate.
Hassan? Coming on Disney's debate performance.
I don't really know who Hassan is. I've heard his
I'm
name
surprised he didn't rip
a bunch,
you asshole,
but I
like,
don't
the
really
conservatives
know
more.
who he
Like,
is. And it's not a slight against him or anything. I'm not like, oh, I don't even know who you are, bro. No, I've never listened to him. I've never listened to Destiny until like about a year ago. Well, actually, okay, so I listened to Destiny during the Rittenhouse things because I followed that really closely, and I think he had blue hair at the time. I can't remember if he got that done after or before, but I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, he's probably like, God, condemn him, because I was just like, fuck, man. This was like right when I was starting to get political. Well, I guess not get political, but start paying attention to politics. So I guess you can consider that get political, because I was already fairly, I guess, political. I just didn't talk about it. I was very opinionated, self-opinionated on politics up until the point, like where I got into politics like hardcore, like when I was just tired of like all the crap like with Gamergate, and I'm just like, dude, like, do you not know men are not trying to keep women out of playing video games. They're really fucking not. If you go to any fucking game store, dudes love when girls play video games. Because, like, if you ask any gamer guy, they're like, oh, what kind of girl do you want, dude? I just want a girl, you know, who's into the stuff I'm into, and, yeah, we can just hang out and play games together. I was just like, yeah, I can relate, man. So it's like, What the fuck do you mean that guys don't want girls playing video games? Are you fucking dumb? There's no fucking way. Like, that's like the one thing every guy, if you looked at any comic shop, any fucking video game store, any like, just like game store in general, like from like Magic the Gathering and stuff, dude, if there's like one girl that fucking shows up there, every fucking dude's like probably simping for her. Every dude is. That's just the way it fucking is, man. It's so weird. But like, so Gamergate was bullshit, and then they made that stupid fucking what was it, that fucking hit piece kind of fucking movie that they did called, I think it was called like fucking Cyberbullies or some shit, and like it was a bunch of girl gamers who were trying to fucking Charlie's Angels their way through through sexism in gaming, but it was all fake. Cause guys don't really, I mean, is there a guy out there who does it? Yes. When I say guys don't do that, I'm talking about generally, dude. It's just ridiculous to think that, like, any gamer guys, because most gamer guys are fucking, lack of a better word, fuck. You don't have any damn girlfriends, man. Like, I'm not trying to be fucking mean, but I mean, I was one of those guys. I was one of those fucking guys. I didn't have a fucking girlfriend, didn't get laid for a long fucking time. Oh. What the fuck? Okay, we get there from a different path. But yeah, I didn't get laid for a fucking long ass time, dude. And then once I did, right there, and then once I did, like, that's like kind of like really when I stopped giving a fuck about what people think. Like, I stopped giving a fuck about what people thought, but then the confidence boost like you get after the first time, oh my god, you just you're like fucking king of the world, dude. You're just like, man, I'm the shit. Even though you're not, you just feel that way. And that's good. That's like one of the most positive like experiences in my life. It's just that feeling afterwards, like, dude, so proud. I was so proud of myself. Anyways, let's not go off a tangent here.
That's legitimately shocking. It's
I don't want to. I'll do this tonight because I'm gonna do this all tonight. By the way, I don't know if you guys know. Oh, never mind. I don't want to. Oh God, fuck. Oh shit. Oh, I just got fucking Hassan virus. My fucking brain. I'm remembering every single time these fucking losers are like on their stream screaming like, "Oh, I hate debate, bros. Oh, I hate debating. Oh, I hate debate, bros. Oh, I hate debate, bros." But you put a black person in front of you disagree with them, all of a sudden you want me to turn into a fucking, like, come on, dude, really? The name of the show is Middle Ground, you autistic retard. Like, what do you expect me to do? It's called Middle Ground. They literally tell you when you go on, like, hey, make sure you let everybody talk. I'll say it later. We're gonna find it because I'll watch this all later.
Destiny reacting to XQC reacting to Hassan reacting to Jubilee. Content Centipede.
Plan for the stream. I think this stream, because I can only stream for like 2.5 hours. I think I'm probably just gonna watch the Jubilee thing. Ack wants you on his pod. He talked about you on his latest pod. Wait, where does Ack live? Is he in LA?
Quick hello from France. Big fan.
Keeper kick moment of the year.
Schizo. Okay.
I got over it.
Okay,
I'm
Clint.
totally cool now.
Clint, go ahead and tell me what's your answer.
I'll tell you what. My
Did I go back? Did I watch that already? I don't know. I'll push back the iceberg. Where the fucking iceberg's at, bro? Where you at, birds? They over here? Yeah, there they are. What if we can arrange this out?
There's the power.
Oh, breathe fire on that bitch. Okay.
answer is going to be an audio thing here. Look at this.
Wait, Clint, you know we can't hear whatever you're playing in the background.
You can't hear it?
No, we can't
Okay,
hear
let me,
it.
let me,
Or
let
is
me, let
this
me
just the intro
I
thing?
guess
Is this the
improv it
intro
for you.
thing?
Ouch, stop hitting me! Ow, God, claw! Get off me! Ouch! Ouch, ouch, ouch! Yeah, probably cancel the fucking woman beater. It wasn't a YouTube boxing match. Jesus Christ, now you're a human trafficker too. The bitch has got so bad a psychosis.
Yeah, I don't
I picked
know
the software
who,
engineering
I don't
program
know who most of the
because
people are.
they pay very well. It's a
Canadian
fast-paced
ads.
industry.
Ads.
The
Fucking
boot camp.
ads. I need to put my. I have.
Claude
I
went
have
to
like
prison right after this
7
because he wouldn't
YouTube
beat his girl
accounts
up
for
in the
some
middle of the
reason.
show.
I don't know why. I think it's because of Gmail.
Hello.
But I
Yo, what,
need to
did you just
put
wake
my.
up?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what's up?
So, saw the Jubilee video.
I need to put my. Yeah, didn't I just listen to this shit? Did I go back? I felt like I went back. Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm just gonna say we're not fucking YouTube. Is this another Renown Riot? I think it is. So we gotta go back. I think. No, not there. No, sorry. I gotta turn around to the fucking map. Yeah, so this is a different one. Okay, hang on.
No. I didn't watch the entire thing. I skipped over some shit that I thought was kind of boring, like the end, but I saw the affirmative action part. I thought that was the most interesting.
Right
like,
here.
Again, logically, if we're going to talk about, you know, affirmative action being bad, because certain students feel like they haven't really accomplished anything, and other people are judging them because, oh, you only got into the school because you're black. Like, again, that would make it a bad argument against affirmative action in the case of when they use Asians as an example, because again, they have like as the black people said, they have a bigger hurdle to cross. So
yeah, but they would say it's probably not fair to the ones that they would say that it's probably not fair to the ones that outscored the black people and didn't get in.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to talk about like this case against affirmative action based on merit,
I'm vegan games. I'm gonna say the same 10 phrases over and over. Not the game.
If it is harder and it's unfair, then when Asians do get in, they have more to be proud of.
Yeah, but they would probably agree with you there. They'd probably say, yeah, I would take an Asian doctor more seriously than a black doctor, because I know that Asian doctor had to work harder to get through school. They'd probably just agree with you.
Well, yeah, you could make that argument, but that brings me to my next point. They really dishonestly painted this picture that if you're Asian and you need a higher SAT score to get into the same school, that you just can't go to university. I saw that that idea being spread across the board.
Well, you can go to university. It's just it's a lot harder for them to qualify.
Okay. Fucking getting attacked. Let's take out this fucking wolf. God damn it. God damn it. I'm an idiot.
Qualify to get in, basically.
Well, no. It's harder for them to qualify for specific schools that they may want to go to, like Harvard or something, where they have like really competitive entrants.
Yeah.
They can still go to a really good university. Well, like all universities are good.
Sure, these guys are just going to make the argument in the inverse, and they say, okay, well, the black people can go to those other universities, but Ivy Leagues should be referred to the people that score the absolute best, not the ones that get affirmative action in.
Yeah, the argument against that is just,
you don't
for one
fucking
thing,
have
I
one.
really don't fucking care. I think they need to get rid of this fucking idea of like
You can't ground your argument on
prestige.
it. I really don't care, right?
Well, I'm saying they
Yeah, it doesn't
really
have an argument.
should get
See-
rid of this idea.
See, that's why I don't like, because I've heard him talk to Destiny a couple times, and I'll probably go over like fucking some more of these, but like with him, because like he fucking really frustrates me. Like he's so ideologically driven. Like you can't sway him from his damn fucking stance at all. You can't be fucking reasonable with him. Ooh, champion. Let's get this motherfucker going. Oh, you fucking son of a bitch. Oh, fuck. Nope. Come on, you, please. Get me up. Oh, fucking Christ, dude. Come on, dude. Oh, yeah. Good job, gents. Good job. Switch back to fire. Okay. Where? Oh, where? Maybe this. Can we go over here and do it? Okay. Got some there. Okay.
Idea of prestige, this school's like so much better than other schools. You're gonna get the same quality of education at somewhere like Harvard or MIT versus, I don't know, some local university that doesn't have as much prestige. They have,
well, I mean,
they
it
have
depends
the same
on the
educational
majors.
standards.
It super depends on the majors that we're talking about, and sometimes your alma mater can actually matter in terms of like the connections you make with the school. Like, for instance, like law school, going to a top 5, top 10 law school is pretty important in terms of like.
Yeah, he's right about that. Destiny is not vegan gains. He doesn't seem to know much about what he's talking about. He thinks everything's the fucking same. So is a community college the same as university to him? I mean, that it's clearly not. I think a university, well, it's supposed to demand more from you than demand more for your brain than a community college does. Not saying that people who get degrees from community colleges are less, because I myself am going to a community college right now. I'm going to Temple Community College to get my associates in applied science right now, because that's all they offer. Because they just started doing this program, which is good for me, which is engineering. And I want to get into electromechanical engineering. I think it's a good field. It's a field that we need. We need more hands-on jobs, because a lot of people don't. A lot of jobs that we need people to do to keep up infrastructure in society are going to be phased out because there's no younger people who are doing them, such as electricians and plumbers and stuff like that, because those are all older gentlemen or women. But more men than women. And they are getting phased out because they're aging out. They're aging out of it. They're getting too old to do the job. So the people who are left will be able to rate the prices up, and then you're gonna be on a wait list when you have a plumbing issue and your house is leaking. And then you're gonna bitch about that. But no one else wants to go out and do the job. Everybody wants to do something else. Everybody wants to be an influencer or some kind of shit. They go in for gender studies. Like, how many fucking gender studies jobs do you think that are out there? You gotta be realistic. If everybody's going in for like some kind of sociology degree, How many of these jobs do you think there are? Like, and a lot of companies are phasing out like diversity and equity positions and stuff like that. I mean, there's still places that are keeping them going, but there's places that have gotten rid of them because it's just a company blow, and it's a problem that'll never solve itself. Because are you going to fire yourself? No, then you're never going to have because you're never going to allow for diversity and equity, because if you solve the problem, then they don't need you anymore. So therefore, you're firing yourself. So no one's ever going to fire themselves. And to think that is naive.
Like placement in first job and everything, and even through your career, I think people look at that pretty highly. I think it really depends on the major you're going into.
There's...
Oh, hang on. Get out of here. Let me park somewhere a little bit safer. Okay, listen to this. Come on, man. Oh my god, this chill lasts forever. Mount up now? Alright, let's get back to the fork right up here.
Like, that's the problem. There's no actual unique aspect of the education that would make you a better lawyer. It's just that, oh, you went to Harvard.
Sure, and that's possible. But I mean, if you want to talk about changing the entire cultural attitude towards education or Ivy League institutions, I mean, but that's another argument.
Yeah, but I understand that, you know, on your resume, Harvard sounds more impressive, but, like, again, the end outcome that we're interested in is just making it a bit more fair for black people versus other more advantaged races. And given, like, the low amount of entrance historically to places like Harvard, I don't see what the fucking problem is with affirmative action. Like, in both cases, Asians can still get a very high quality education. They clearly do have an easier time versus black people getting into places like Harvard, which is why they have these different standards. And when it comes to things like this,
I don't know what you're
feeling...
nothing you're arguing has anything to do with anything of anything. I don't understand. It's not supposed to be about, like, can they get into school? It's usually conservatives are making merit-based arguments on the best applicant should be the one that makes it. This idea that, well, you can get an education somewhere else doesn't have any bearing on any of their arguments.
So, when we're talking about the best applicants again, like, there's a reason why they don't just go on SAT scores. So, when they're looking at...
On that, I absolutely think that should be the majority thing right there, is SAT scores. You can look at other factors, right? Because they look at other things too anyways, like what did you do, what clubs are you part of, your extracurriculars, stuff like that. They look at like what you did with your community. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they look at. It's not just your SAT scores, right? Like, if you want to get into an Ivy League school, you have to do a lot to get in there. Even for most non-Ivy League schools, you still have to be pretty impressive on there, and you have to write the essay. But they look at extracurriculars, they look at clubs, they look at like all the things that you're a part of while you're in school, like how you interact with your community. Like community service looks good on your resume when you're applying to go to these colleges as well. There's a whole bunch of factors that they look at. It's not just your grades. Like that is that is and should be the majority thing. Like, well, first, are you smart enough to be here? Like, all right, how do you care about your community? Like, if you did community service, and okay, so what else did you do while you were in school? Because if all you did was get good grades, that actually doesn't just look good on your resume when you go to apply for these schools. That's usually not enough. And you also have to write a very eloquent essay. Because I think they asked I don't really know, but it's just like you need to. I think you're, again, like I said earlier, like the shit that you went through should also be looked at. Like if you climbed all those hurdles and did well, was active in your community, had pretty good extracurriculars, stuff like that. Absolutely, you should get in. It shouldn't, but I don't think race should be a factor. I think your socioeconomic status and showing, and that will disproportionately affect black people, like in a positive way.
I can see you've traveled far.
Different applicants, yeah, they don't just look at race. They also look at things like family background, whether you have two parents in the household. They look at your family income. They look at what neighborhood you grew up in, like stuff like that. So it's not just, oh, you're black, so it's easy to get in. That is an aspect to it, race, but like again, the reason why they have
I don't think it should be. I don't think your race should be an aspect in almost anything. I mean, that might be an asshole thing to say. I just don't. This goes for everybody. I mean, I don't think white people should get preferential treatment. I don't think anybody should get preferential treatment. And this coming from a white, lower class man who's just now getting his shit together to go to school. So, yeah. And I'm married. I just got married I'm 38. Just got married. Yeah. My life's just getting started halfway through it. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I made some shit choices. And, you know.
These standards.
I don't know why you're explaining this to me. I understand. I know the reason behind affirmative action. I understand. I don't know who you're arguing. I'm just saying that this is why conservatives don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, this is. You can agree that if you have these other road bumps in front of you when it comes to getting like an SAT score, like a black person, let's say on the aggregate, getting I don't know how they do SAT scores. Let's say black person on the aggregate getting 800 versus other races getting 1,000, something like that. Considering other confounding variables, like, I don't know, maybe both parents aren't in the household, you go to a worse school, there's other stressors in your life, it basically ends up equating. So
I'm not your. Like, we're retreading the.
Against,
we're retreading.
Well, yeah, you were.
Oh, hang on. Where's this Bloodstone creature at? Okay, rare creature. Boom, boom, boom. You gotta get this. Gotta get this real quick. Alright, let's get this guy done. Oh shit. That's good. Get this bloodstone creature done.
Vigorate. Powerful combination. There's the power.
Let's get this up. Let's go. Get this excuse me. I'm gonna get this bloodstone guy down, and then go back to listening to that. Nice.
Oh, I know
Got
a
it.
good use for this.
Let's get this stuff. Can we get another bloodstone slow? Sightings, got that. Okay. Let's get this and we'll get the fuck out of here. Oh, let's just get the fuck out of here.
You were against the idea of affirmative action, though, and the only arguments I really heard were this idea of a lack of... It's not even like a lack of merit. It's this idea that I feel ashamed that the only reason I got into school might have been because I was black, and Asians have trouble
I think
getting
that
into
the
school.
arguments against affirmative action are, one, there's like mixed evidence for this idea of mismatch theory, and two, the optics and everything behind it are so bad that it's probably just worth ditching and doing like a more socioeconomic targeted thing instead.
Okay, well...
For one, I don't think affirmative action was as impactful and helpful as they thought it might be. I do think it has helped, but I don't think it's helped to the degree that has been widely beneficial. At least in academia. For the job market, I don't know. I don't really have numbers, and I haven't really paid attention to that. But I think the numbers on let me see. Duration statistics. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, so this is based off jstow.org stable. 57, yeah, y'all can see that 57% of affirmative action students graduating compared to 73% of their non-affirmative action peers. It's probably even lower for black men because men are graduating at lower rates just across the board than women. don't think most men are meant for like school. Like it's at least when we're younger. We might be able to do it like when we're older. Most men, I feel, most men and boys have, like especially young boys, they have a lot of energy. It's harder for them to focus. When they get diagnosed with like ADD, ADHD. And I'm not saying that those don't exist. I think they do. I just think it's overdiagnosed. And I'm not a medical doctor, but my co-host from the podcast, Teddy, he was a medical doctor in yoga, and he also thinks it's an overdiagnosed thing. Like a kid's hyper, has energy, can't focus. Well, he must have ADD or ADHD. So I do think it's I do think it's a thing. I just don't think I don't think as many people have it as it's being prescribed the medication to. This is being diagnosed. I think it's overdiagnosed. And my co-host Teddy is a pretty smart guy, so if he agrees with me, I came with that theory on my own. I just see, because when I was younger, ADD and ADHD wasn't like a thing, not until I got into like high school, and it's just like, just call that being a boy back then. Like, young men just have a lot of energy. It's like we got all this pent up energy, and you put us behind the desk, and we can't fucking focus. I was the same way. I acted out. I don't have ADD or ADHD. I don't have problems focusing. It is my problem focusing on. I didn't want to sit behind a desk. I wanted to go out and do things. And again, I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm sure it is. I just don't think it's as widely spread as they say, because it's like every fucking kid I know is getting diagnosed with ADHD, and they're just like, well, they're a kid, they have a fucking lot of energy. People just don't remember how it is to have that much energy, I think, because like, we don't realize that it's just a lot of energy when we're a kid, right? Because every kid's like us, for the most part. We get on a good thing. It's like, it's why parents sleep in and kids wake up early. At least they used to. Now it's like, it seems like the inverse. The parents would wake up before the kids do. I don't know. I remember me being up before my parents every fucking day. I'd be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Boom, let's go. Let's get this shit done. Especially when I wasn't in school. But until I got into high school, it was pretty much like that. I was like up real early, and I'd be like wanting to play and like all that stuff. Just wanted to do shit. Where are fucking Yomens at?
Okay, if those are your two arguments, there's clearly adequate enough evidence for universities to support it. Like, again, there's a reason why they don't want to rely on just SAT scores.
Nobody is
They're
telling them to rely on
extremely
that's
biased.
so it's philosophy terms, false dichotomy, right? Nobody is saying it's either just SAT scores or completely racialized affirmative action. There's a ton of things that college things can consider as part of their admissions. People just don't want race to be one of them. I'm not saying that means they can only go by SAT or ACT scores.
Well, again, there's a reason why they want to include race as an aspect in college admission, and it's because it is a relevant factor.
I understand that. That's not my... Okay.
Right, and then you're just saying it creates a kind of image that, like a muddy sort of image that seems kind of gross that you're allowing people in.
Again, like I think that's just boring. I think it's a boring way to look at the world. I mean, if you ain't got shit else going on in your life, I guess pay attention to race, like 100% of the time, and that's the only characteristic about a person that fucking matters. It's so fucking boring. So it's like if Teddy was a fucking white guy, like, we would still be fucking best friends. Because I don't give a fuck about his race. I just don't. I think that's a horrible way to pick people to do anything. To do anything. Race, sexual character. Like, any, like, fucking, I guess, class identity. I think this is so fucking stupid and boring. Like, and it's not like I was against them trying it, right? Whoa, where the fuck am I? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Like, we ran the experiment for quite a decent amount of time, and it seems like it's not getting the results that are wanted, so we should just keep doing it, right? And if it's broke, don't fix it, and if it's not broke, fix it. And it just seems like the way we fucking do things now. There's a system that works, like, no, get rid of it. It works too good. Or it works well enough. And it seems like we're just eliminating all these systems that we used to have in place, but we don't have anymore. It just seems rough. And it's kind of sad to me. Because I think people are more than their skin color, but it doesn't seem like that's what the rest of the world wants to see them as. I mean, I think that would offend me more than someone actually being racist to me. Right? Or because a racist person just sees you as that as well, right? I would see that as racist. That'd be a better way of saying that. No, that's worse than racist, because a racist would also just see you as your skin color. Excuse me. God, come on, man. Let me mount up. Oh, there's a jumping puzzle here. Never mind. There's a jumping puzzle here. They will not let you. Man, fuck you. They won't let you mount up. For some of them. Not all of them, but for some of them. Man, dude, will you stop hitting me with a chill? I'm not going to do this jumping puzzle right now, though. Because a lot of the, from what I remember, it's been a while. A lot of the, come on, man. Oh, yeah. Tell you. I just fucking said why they won't do it. And I'm like, oh, why won't I go up? Okay, so here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, get up this fucking hill, man. There we go. Got that. We are now 75% done with map completion, apparently. It's pretty good. We got one more. Or one more. Shiver. We got one more shiver piece. God damn it. Got one more shiver piece, one more ore, and like. Let's see. After this one, anyways, we gotta get this one done. Take us down to all this shit over here. So. After this one, we got Dredge Hunt, then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Ascalon, and then we got Malcor's Leap for ore. And then we'll have all map completion done. But we'll try to get this one done tonight. And map completion is not hard. It's just
like, again,
time consuming.
I don't know why that really fucking matters. Like, at the end of the day,
you don't know why
there's
perception
a lot of
matters of a public policy that we vote on?
It really, no, it doesn't.
Just to be clear,
look,
it's literally the
day,
only thing that matters. Because if public perception is bad,
the only thing that matters.
Listen, if public perception is bad on a policy, they're going to vote it away and then it'll be gone forever. Of course it matters. What do you mean?
No, it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, what matters is people getting into university in a fair manner.
That doesn't matter if people don't like the way it's happening and they vote to get rid of it.
Okay, well, nobody's voting to get rid of it.
Really? Didn't we just have a huge Supreme Court case that literally acts affirmative? Okay, wasn't part of the whole election of Trump to get Supreme Court justices to rule on things exactly relating to things like affirmative action and Roe v. Wade?
Okay, nobody fucking cares about affirmative action. The only people who care about affirmative action are Asians and racists. Like, that's really it. It's just not a fucking big political issue. So again, at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters to me is whether or not we have a system where people, in a relatively fair manner, can get into university. And when you're talking about disadvantaged communities, like, they're being benefited from things like this. People who otherwise wouldn't get into university are getting into university.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, the reparations thing. So, yeah, I think you, like, again, I'm paraphrasing, but I think you said something along the lines of black people should have no money and they should be slaves or something. I'm just kidding, but, yeah, the idea that it's like too fucked up and complicated and muddy to actually give reparations, I don't agree with that. You could just easily have a thing where you just require somebody to track down their genealogy to where they can prove they do have family that are slaves. You just create some standard of evidence. We already have that for things like Native American benefits. Here in Canada, if you're Native American, you don't have to pay sales tax. And they have a similar system where you just have to show your, your family tree, and provide adequate evidence that you're from like a particular tribe, and then you don't have to pay sales tax. You can have a similar thing where you get like $40,000 back from the government.
So I'm gonna jump into the racist bucket. Not to be racist, but what do you do with all like the single white moms who don't even know who the black father is? Are those kids just completely shit out of luck?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't
See, that's the
have
thing,
to
they don't
have a perfect system where every single black person...
That's the fucking thing. They don't have plans for anything. They don't have plans for shit. They're just like, it should be this way, and that's that. And there's no plan. Like, why? You're just fucked at that point? Well, yeah, of course. But why? So fucking dumb. Reparations is just a dumb thing. I don't think people should have to pay for past sins to people who did not get affected by those sins personally, and by those who did not partake in the sin itself. That's just gonna build way more fucking division. Like, if you want to divide people more, yeah, go right a fucking head. It's just gonna drive the nail deeper, man.
With a minor in suffering.
I mean, because at that point, I don't even know how to make an argument for it, man. I can't. I really can't steel man it because there's. I don't know. Like, because it's like we have to trace this shit how far back? I don't know. I just don't know how people think that these things are good. Yes, it is right to wrong past sins. Or past wrongs. Stuff like that. Absolutely. But where would you even start and where would you finish? Are you gonna just charge every single white person a fucking tax? That's, oh man, that is just a fucking logistics nightmare for one. And then two, that's just gonna make, if you think you have racists now, you're just gonna create a whole nother group of fucking racists, because now my taxes are increased. And like the cost of living's already fucking high enough as it is. If you have to pay an extra fucking tax on top of it because you're white, oh man, that would be a never fucking ending battle there. Jeez, man. Ah, that would definitely cause another fucking civil war. Fucking reparations. Jeez.
Hi, we're Visible, the wireless company with nothing to hide. Get unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon.
Who has, you know, like possibly has slave ancestors, still gets money, even though they have like no proof. I don't know why it can't just be a system where, you know, if you can provide adequate proof, then here you go. If you can't, then I'm sorry if you do in fact have slave ancestry, but, you know, the risk of something like fraud.
Is he fucking Canadian? Is Vegan Gains Canadian? Because he said sorry. I mean, from being from upstate New York, you meet a lot of Canadians. They say boot and sorry. Sorry about that. It's nothing against him if he is. Like, that's like, I just wondering.
And the expense to, you know, the U.S. government and taxpayers is just too great. I think the idea right now behind reparations is just to make a good faith effort for the United States government to say, you know what, here we're sorry. You know, in the past there was 300 years of slavery, and beyond that point there has been a lot of fucked up shit with treatment of black people. This is our way of kind of saying sorry and making a good faith effort coming forward to have a good relationship and treat black people fairly. And I don't think it would bankrupt the U.S. economy or anything.
Oh, okay. So like here's my fucking thing. It's not just how much, right? Do they get a check for the rest of their life? Do they get a just huge lump sum? And then on top of that, how much is it after that? It's just like, and then that because that's, I think that's that right there. That's not fucking fair. At that point, I don't know. I just really don't see people who push for reparations, like how they can even. They can even fucking like think it's a good idea. Like, cause that'll definitely right there throw the country into another fucking civil war. And if you're worried about creating racists, that'll create racists right there. Abso-fucking-lutely. But if you don't think that, then you are very naive. Like, it just incredibly fucking naive.
If you had a system like that, where you just had to track down your genealogy, prove you had slavery, the expense would probably be fairly minor, like probably less than adding $300 billion to the U.S. military budget in a single year.
Okay. Anything else?
What do you think of that?
I think it's a dog shit idea. I think reparations are dog shit. I don't think anybody in the U.S. deserves money because their great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a fucking slave. But that's just me.
Yeah. You think if there was like 300 years of slavery and that amount of time of unpaid labor in your family history, like, you shouldn't get something back?
Nope.
Okay, well, that sounds a little crazy to me.
At least Destiny's on board with that one. Shit. I didn't even know. I didn't really know how he felt about reparations. I've watched quite a few. Well, not quite a few, but a few of his. I guess like his debates slash like podcast things that he does when he has people on, but I don't think I've ever heard him talk about reparations before. But I think it's probably for all the reasons or some of the reasons that I stated.
I don't think that sounds fair. That you can have a group of people who
I understand what you're saying. I think that from a
Yeah.
geopolitical and from a historical lens, you get into very impossible to navigate areas when we start going hundreds of years back into the past to find out who ought to be recompensed for some immoral or unfair action. It just like the entire world basically falls apart instantly when you try to run the math on things like that. So I know you're going to say you don't believe that's the case, but like go talk to Native Americans that want land back in the United States. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to say that. Like in the Native American example, like I just gave you the example of not having to pay sales tax.
Yeah,
like,
Native
over the
Americans don't
course
give a
of your
fuck about
life.
not having to pay sales tax. They probably want their land back. Like,
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, if we're talking about comparing it to reparations, like not having to pay sales tax for the entirety of your life, that would probably save you more money than $40,000. So if that sort of, if those sorts of savings can be made with something like that, like a good faith effort by the government to give some sort of compensation, even though these things happened fairly long ago, I don't know why we can't do the same thing with reparations.
okay, I'll think about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, have fun doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Be careful.
Take care.
Just seems Destiny's fed up with it at that fucking point. He's just like, all right, yep, I'll think about it. Get the fuck out of here. I could be wrong, but yeah. I don't know. That guy just seems very frustrating to have conversations with. Yeah, I've seen a few, like, what's his fucking name? Mr. Girl. He seems also... Okay, so he seems bad faith in some moments, like, where he can, he seems like he can have a reasonable conversation. He just chooses not to. He chooses to be difficult in having conversations. That's what it seems. Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems fucking rough. But yeah, vegan gains, like, for one, I think vegans themselves are difficult to have conversations with. Especially if you eat. They don't seem, yeah. Because I don't impose my worldview on anybody else. I don't want anybody else to impose their worldview on me. So that's like that's my big thing. They don't impose your worldview on me, I don't impose my worldview on you. So I kind of want, I'm a live and let live kind of guy. I just want everybody to do their own thing, and everything else can kind of fuck off. I don't care what you do. I want to be left alone, I want to leave you alone, I think. But too many people are like, oh, I want to impose my worldview on you, and you need to conform to it, and if you don't, then you're a bad person, because I am the arbiter of all that is good, and that will ever be good. And it's just so fucking narcissistic to believe that, to believe some of the things that these people believe. Like, I don't think my way of life is, like, the right way. I think it's the right way for me. And I think to try to change that is kind of, for anybody's perspective. Like, if you want to live by thinking that all white people are racist and you can never overcome any obstacles, that like the world's just out to get you. You can sit there and you can believe that. I don't think you should, but I'm not going to impose that upon you. I think that's a bad way to look at the world. But yeah, I'm not going to impose that upon you to change your way of life the way you want to be in your mind. Can I give you this? I guess not. Who do I give this fucking kelp to? Am I looting kelp? No, I'm not looting kelp. I thought I was looting kelp. Oh, there's a, let's get this guy. Oh, it's these guys down here. Treasure hunters are attacking. We're gonna find another video to watch after this. Fuck you, dude. What? Like, now you wanna come in? Like, I kill your friends and now you wanna fucking come join the fight? It's like, fuck you. Get fucked. There's a bunch of kelp over here. Let's go get these. Let's hit him with the boom. Get him with the boomer clap. Okay. So I get someplace safe. Then we will look for another video. Probably not here though. Dude, will you fuck off there? Doesn't help that this wherever the line takes me to a safe spot, that'll be the spot. Are we safe here? Seems pretty safe. Okay, let's see here. Let's listen to this one.
Do the amazing. Help
Could be
save
right,
lives. Donate plasma today at CSL Plasma.
Are you looking to establish
Oh
your
my God,
business
come on,
using an address other than your home? Wish you had a professional business address and phone number instead of your home address and personal number? Wouldn't it be great if you could read and manage your business mail from anywhere? iPostal One can help. With an iPostal...
A guy who's a medical doctor on YouTube claiming that it might work. There's mixed evidence.
Okay.
Like,
well,
like
show me
again,
the
it just
show me the clip of that, and I'll be like, wow, that's pretty.
show you the clip. Give me 1 second. I'll try to find it.
7 months ago, someone in our community made a post sort of questioning the veracity of the research that we were citing.
Something also, Dr. Abbey, I don't know what your
I don't
personal
think
experience is with this, and initially I thought it was kind of dumb, but after...
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna back out. I need to fucking go eat and shit. I'm gonna send you the.
It seems like he gives up ground too fast. Like, if he's just not winning the argument, he fucking runs away. Which, like, alright, so... Steven seems like Destiny Steven is his name. Don't know his last name. Not that it fucking matters. He seems to be a relatively good debater, for the most part. A master debater, if you will. But yeah, he just doesn't seem to. Vegan Gains doesn't seem like he's as good as debating. He seems like he kind of sits in an echo chamber with no opposing viewpoints, and then he tries to go and justify his viewpoints in front of Destiny, and it doesn't pan out the way he thinks it's going to pan out, and then I don't know. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. Where is this heart at?
Topic of Dr. K got brought up. Do you know if he'd actually be interested in a debate?
Honestly, I don't know how interesting the conversation would be. My position on it is that basically that, like, I think what he did in terms of his relationship with Reckful was probably questionable, but I don't know if I feel like super strongly on it one way or another.
Yeah, I certainly think it's questionable. I'd be more interested in debating him on, not Reckful specifically, but some of the bullcrap that he promoted. Like, he's made a lot of really bizarre claims that I take issue with.
Like what?
So, a lot of the claims he made about Ayurveda, and criticizing modern medicine. One of the stupidest things I've ever heard him say was, modern medicine has an issue with targeted therapy. He was literally criticizing targeted therapy, which is insane to me, especially as a psychiatrist.
Why do you think that's so insane?
I think my mic was off of that. So, I think I pulled it up. So, Vegan Gains seems to be, I don't know. So, so, start with this. Destiny seems to be relatively good at debating. He seems good. I mean, he's probably been beat before, but he's also probably crushed more people than he's lost to. I would be guessing, because he seems widely educated on the topics he does talk about. And if they reach into a discussion that he's not as well, he has a lot of questions and a lot of clarifying questions, which I think is good. I myself, I don't think I'm a very good debater. I don't think I would be good at debate. I just think I can notice things. So, Vegan Gains does not seem like that. He seems like he sits in an echo chamber. He seems that he doesn't know how to deal with people who disagree with him. So he just kind of seems like when the things get hard, he kind of just fucking bails. Just from the opening intro thing, because I don't know if my audio cut out there because I'm not listening to the audio. But I will be... Hang on. Give him the meat, right?
Visit more often.
Here, have this meat. Okay. Let's see. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's get back here. We do what we gotta click on. Yeah, okay.
Well, again, there's a reason why we have targeted therapies. It's because they work, and people are going to have multiple conditions or multiple ailments due to a condition, and you're going to have to treat that with different targeted therapies. Like, it's especially strange for psychiatrists, too, because somebody can have depression, for instance, but they could also have, like, bipolar disorder at the same time. So
I would have to
you're
see,
going to
I guess
have to...
I would have to see specifically what were the statements he made that we feel are super questionable. Like, what was the exact...
He was basically saying, he was criticizing modern medicine for saying, oh, like, you have a cough, you have a cold, you have a fever, so, like, modern medicine will give you, like, medication for the cough, a medication for the fever, like that. That's what he was basically saying. And then he was comparing that to Ayurveda, saying, oh, Ayurveda is holistic in some way.
I would have to
and
see.
will
I would
give
need
you...
to see. I hate to just do it. Like, I would really need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see
yeah.
a statement. I think it's important. Yeah. Because
Well, sure. I'm not here to argue with you on. I'm not here to convince you that what I'm saying is true. I'm just telling you the issues I have with him. Like, it's just especially bizarre when he's a psychiatrist, and, like, I have really bad mental health issues. I think that's obvious without me even telling you. But,
Yeah, I can tell you have mental health issues. It just seems like everybody has, like, some fucking mental disorder nowadays. Just kind of fucking this is annoying. And they kind of wear it like a badge. They're like, oh, look, I've got 7 mental disorders. Like they're trying, like they're Pokemon, they're trying to fucking collect them all. It's like, I got severe depression and I'm bipolar, and it's just like, that's not, it's like, it's nothing to be ashamed of, it's nothing to be proud of either. It's just like, stop. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know. Could just be me. I don't know, because like, it feels like back in the day, we just kind of fucking dealt with our shit. I mean, there's therapists back in the 80s and 90s, obviously. But... and I'm sure therapy works for a lot of people. But it just feels like more people than ever have been going to therapy or have some kind of disorder, and it's just weird. It's weird to me. It's like, it could be the case that it's like true, right? But it just seems weird that as time's gone on, like the increase of people having some kind of issue mentally has come up.
The spirits of the wild welcome you.
You must visit more often.
I'm gonna take that meat. I don't want to take up bag space. Okay.
Like, I have problems with depression. I also have problems with mood instability. Some of the medications I'm on also...
You know what would fix all of those fucking problems right there? The first 2 listed. Eat a fucking hamburger. And I guarantee your outlook on life will change. It's probably fucking mean to say, but it's just like, come on, man. So, this is purely fucking anecdotal. purely anecdotal. I have no like statistical data to back this up. This is just one experience I've had, and I just had this friend when I lived in New York. He's a vegan, and this dude was fucking miserable. He's fucking miserable, and like he didn't look healthy, and he ate tofu and avocados and almonds and had almond milk and all the stuff that vegans eat, right? And he's just fucking miserable. And like one day, man, I can't remember what brought it up, but we were going out to eat, and he's like, oh man, this place doesn't have any vegan options. Could we go somewhere? And I was like, dude, you just said you ate, because he just said he ate. He goes, yeah, but I'm starving. Because he always ate before he came and hang out with us. So I'm like, well, dude, we gotta get something to eat. We're starving. We haven't eaten all day. So we're sitting down at the restaurant, he said, and we ordered burgers, and I ordered a burger. I think we all ordered different shit, but I ordered a burger. And he's sitting there, and I was like, bro, do you want a piece of this burger? And he was like, no. And then I picked it up like I was gonna bite into it, and he said, hey, hang on, can you cut me a piece off? And I was like, holy shit. And he ate. I gave him half the fucking burger. I was starving, but I gave him half the burger. And after he ate it, dude's whole personality changed from when I knew him. Because I only knew him for like a year at that point, but he was already like part of a friend group. I don't think I really would have hung out with him, like if he wasn't already friends with the friends I made. Like, was that kind of friend. He was already established friends with the guy I made friends with. So we were hanging out. He was probably gonna be there. But you know, if we're chilling together, you know, I'll look out for you. So we gave this guy dude, his whole personality changed, and then he started eating meat, and he started looking healthy again. It was pretty. It was a pretty drastic fucking change, man. It was crazy. It was a pretty drastic change. It was crazy. But yeah, it was just like, this dude was fucking always hungry. Like, he was very cranky all the fucking time, man. He ate that burger, and boom, man's life changed. God damn, come on, get over here. Fine, fuck you. I'm not dealing with you. Right. So I feel like a vegan gains just like a fucking steak. That dude would feel better.
So give me trouble sleeping. So like the idea that my doctor shouldn't prescribe me antidepressants, mood stabilizing drugs like antipsychotics, and possibly another medication to counteract some of the, you know, potential side effects of those other meds, like, you know,
I feel like
sleep.
you really think that he would be against that?
Well, this is what he has stated in the idea that he's given to his audience.
Is
I
that
wouldn't say
prescribing
in his
multiple
own
medications
clinical...
are bad, or that seems like an impossible thing for him to say.
He suggested that. He heavily, strongly suggested that. It was in the Dr. K Manifesto, Dangers of Pseudoscience. I think you saw that video. He strongly suggested that. He was explaining why Ayurveda was superior to modern medicine because modern medicine uses targeted therapies. which again is crazy to me. You
That
have
would
to
be
use
a
targeted
really
therapies.
that would be a really crazy thing to say. That's
Yeah,
why I'm really curious.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you have like a
I
link
can-
or a quote or anything I can look at real quick, and then we can.
I don't know who Dr. K is, but based off past stuff from Vegan Gains, I'm gonna probably just err on the side that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm just gonna err on that side. He just seems like he'll do anything like to appease his ideological cult that he's a part of. And it's fine. I mean, it's fine that he can believe whatever the fuck he wants to believe, right? Like, I don't really give a fuck. But, like, if he's gonna argue something at someone, 90% of the time, I'm probably gonna think that he doesn't really know what the hell he's talking about. Oh, come on. Get up there. Get up there. Okay. Fire tornado, let's do this.
Structural integrity compromised.
Okay. We're not gonna die. Get him, crossbow. Let's heal back up, come on. Alright, let's commune with this place of power. But yeah, I'm just gonna err on the side that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Just seems like the simplest thing. He does seem like he's pretty. I mean, I'm sure him and Destiny are cool, and they probably agree on more than they don't. But I don't know. I just think he seems to me, just to me. I'm sure he seems difficult to speak. And not like the conversations are difficult. It seems like the way they go about their conversations is difficult, right? Because I'm pretty sure I could have that similar conversations with other people, and they would probably go smoothly. Because me and Teddy have conversations. Sometimes he can be difficult because of the way
Let me see. So it's
he interprets the way I say things, or I say
I
things
can
wrongly.
message you,
but
send
I
you
mean
the
something
entire
different.
video. Give me 1 second. So I just messaged you. That's the entire video. I think you might have already seen it. Let me see if I can find the exact timestamp. Just give me 2 seconds.
Oh my god. Vivek Ramaswamy. I think,
Am I just supposed to fire this Gatling gun
he's
at,
a
or this
pretty-
big gun at the guy, and it what is it, like stun him, or I don't understand.
Pretty good.
Okay. Found
vote
it.
for him.
Oh my god.
So that's the link with the timestamp. If you want to watch it on stream, go ahead. But on top of that, he's also said like other really bizarre
Okay,
shit.
wait. One thing
somebody-
at a time. Wait. Okay, let me click the
Sure.
link with the timestamp. Hold on.
Yeah, that would be the last one.
Yep, I got it.
I think it's like
Fucking
3-4
tired.
minutes ish.
Sleep
Okay, let me
schedule's
look here
kicking
real
my
quick.
ass.
And
Sure.
then we're going to take another thing over here, like, diet preferences. Okay? And we're going to combine those two and see if we can come up with something even bigger. So this is how Ayurveda works. Ayurveda says, is there any correlation between someone's memory and the type of skin that they have? Is there any correlation between their mental, like cognitive fingerprint, like, and their weight? Is there any correlation between how constipated they are and how their heart functions? So what Ayurveda tries to do is it takes individual pieces and then it tries to construct patterns. And Western medicine does the opposite. It takes a whole thing, like when someone is sick, and it tries to divide them into its component pieces. So if you have an infection, you've got cough, and you've got fever, and you've got this, and you've got this. Let's treat cough with this. Let's treat fever with this. Let's treat this with, the third symptom with the third thing. And so what happens is, like, over time, as people become sick in Western medicine, they have a lot of targeted treatments for each of their problems. So you've got 2 medications for your blood pressure, you've got 1 medication for your diabetes, you've got an asthma inhaler, and then you've got, like, physical therapy for your knees. And then you also take, like, Tylenol because you have arthritis. So over time, like what we do is we treat individual things. So we've got, like, a treatment here, a treatment here, a treatment here, and a treatment here. And so people end up with 4 treatments.
I feel
This
that's
is how Western
probably
medicine
true.
works. What Ayurveda says is there any correlation between this? Is there a broad pattern that we can observe? And if there is that pattern, can we treat this and thereby improve this, and improve this? If we treat sort of the overarching pattern, can we sort of address all of the components at the same time? And so what Ayurveda comes up with over here is something called doshas. So these are elemental balances. So what Ayurveda says is that people who are prone to ulcers are also prone to anger and irritability, and are also of medium build, and also tend to like lose their hair earlier than people who.
I do think, so far from what I heard, that when you have multiple conditions, even I guess symptoms, they do treat you with like multiple medications. I mean, I'm asthmatic, so I have asthma inhaler, but I also have other problems. So it makes sense that they treat that way. But I mean, I guess if there was like some underlying thing that all these things shared, that there was one medication to handle that, I would prefer to take the one medication versus like the 2 or the 3 or the X amount, right? I think anybody would, because for one, it might lower costs, might not, depending, right? I don't know. It would really honestly just depend on the effectiveness of it. Like maybe, maybe it feels like 80% effective on both versus 2 medicines that are both 100% effective. I'd probably take the 2 that are 100% effective versus the one that's 80% effective in both, just to prevent like just any like bullshit that might possibly arise from it. Oh, you some bitch. I like Guild Wars too. So when you level a character, it feels like you're not just leveling up your character, because leveling to 80 was relatively quick, to be honest with you. I think you're just, I think the majority of it is leveling up your account versus leveling up a particular character. Boo 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 boo. Let's go. Alright, we're done. It's like when I map complete, it's not completed for everybody, but I get stuff when I map complete. So it seems the things that I get are leveling up my accounts, because I'm assuming that this is an account-wide wardrobe. So if I click on this, if I make another cloth caster, it could use like all of these. Probably not this, because this is just race Asura only, but all the rest of the stuff, yeah. Same thing with like the daggers. So like any class that can use a dagger, I think all these. And same thing for Warhound. And stabs. Yeah, so that seems pretty cool. Let's get back to this.
So this is something called Pitta. Okay, so like anyway, so Pitta has some correlated physical and mental characteristics. Vata has some correlated
Yeah,
physical
so
and
that's
mental characteristics, and Vata has
basically-
some correlated physical and mental characteristics. And by
The
improving
clip.
the
Give me,
three
like, one more
doshas
minute.
in and of themselves, you actually treat all of this like the component symptoms. And there's actually data that supports this, okay? So now we gotta I gotta fix this. Okay? So Ayurveda believes that we all have a doshic, or elemental balance. And what that means is that we've got these three forces called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and that Vata, Pitta, Kapha have each
And
a certain level,
Steven
and that
seems
their levels sort of determine what attributes we have that are physical and mental.
indifferent towards
So
him.
let's talk for a second about. So Vata is like
he
characterized by air,
seems
Pitta is
like
characterized by fire, and Kapha is
he
characterized by earth.
knows
They each also have second elements. But we can
that
get to So the first thing to understand is like what Ayurvedic physicians observe is they notice like some people are kind of like air or kind of like the wind. And what that means is that their mental
what
thinking is what I
Vegan
call
Gains is saying
So we
is
think about the wind,
probably
like, what
bullshit,
are the
but
properties
he's
of
just
wind?
like
So it blows really
entertaining
hard,
them
and then it stops.
anyways.
Is there a point in this where he says like this is better than Western medicine, or that Western medicine doesn't
Well-
work or is bad, or?
Well, there is another clip later on where
Well,
he states
no,
that
but it doesn't prove my point,
is able
does
to
it?
take patients that could not be effectively treated or cured, quote unquote, of their mental health issues by using different medications and standard practices. But by implementing Ayurveda, he's able to get everybody off of their meds within like 6 months, and then they're perfectly happy and healthy. So he makes a strong suggestion
Well, I mean-
that Ayurveda is better than modern medicine. Now,
I
to be
mean, if
fair,
he's-
when he says,
if it's true, right?
is there say one therapy or one type of lifestyle change
That
that
he's-
could treat a variety of symptoms? That is certainly true. Like, I mean, if you start exercising, that will improve your heart
Well,
health.
yeah,
that
like,
will
look
lower your
at,
blood pressure.
Jordan Peterson,
That'll lower
right?
your
He
cholesterol.
eats
So,
only
like,
meat, and a lot
that
of his health
idea
issues
makes
kinda
sense,
disappeared,
but
his weight loss.
he's not just promoting that idea.
Relatively-
I think there's a
he's down to
very
being
strong
thin, and
implication
his autoimmune
that he's
issues are gone.
making
According
that
to him.
targeted therapies are generally bad. And like again, he used an especially strange analogy. He said people will be taking diabetes medication, medication for their heart, medication for their blood pressure. Yes, because it prevents them from fucking dying. Like it's just so bizarre for him to say that, and he's a fucking medical doctor. And I think what's especially telling in this video too, later on, somebody asked him on stream, there's a clip of it, somebody asked him on stream what he thinks of naturopathic, naturopathic medicine. Or not naturopathic,
I don't know if it is.
homeopathic.
Oh, homeopathic.
He said there's mixed evidence.
I was gonna say, I don't know what naturopathic is. I know what homeopathic is. Homeopathic is like remedies, like, and herbs and shit ground up. But, I mean, that's how, like, less modern medicine was made. It was just herbs, and that's, like, what the majority, it's synthesized herbs and stuff that they found that they know works. Like, penicillin's like a fucking it's like a mold. And we use that to treat fucking illnesses. We've made more antibiotics based off that, but I mean that's just the way it's the way it is. Like, so most modern medicine has grounds in homeopathic medicine. Yeah, I'm not talking about like some plague doctor shit where we put some fucking leeches on your arm and you're just like, well, I'm good to go. No more cancer. I mean, I don't, I just really don't know what to say to that. Like, it's so far from what I've seen. Like, he says there's another clip later. But this was supposed to be the clip, right? This was supposed to be the one that was supposed to prove him right. So why didn't he just show the other clip first? The one that... I don't know. I really don't get this guy. Oh, we're not even supposed to be here yet. Or are we? Yeah, we are. Just cross the heart right here. Boom. Oh, god damn it. I hate like when you're just like just outside the fucking heart range. It's like, why do you put the fucking centaur there when I can't get credit for the centaur kill? That's so fucking dumb. Okay, let's... Set these on fire. Set him on fire. Setting everybody on fire. Setting all the bros on fire. You son of a bitch. Let's get this heart done. And we'll get back out there. I'm not fucking with you, champion Mountaineer guy. Just wanna kill your kin until I can move on. Man, this sucks. I think the gains on this bar are shit. It's like I have vegan gains here, man. Getting these vegan gains on this shit. Let's go, boy! Man, why am I running so slow? For one, I have increased running speed. Oh wait, no, I don't have that anymore. I lied. I no longer have increased running speed. Should do it though. There we go. Okay. So past the heart, let's go over here. Let's get away from this thing. God damn it, man. Like, what is with all these hearts? Like, right up each other's asses. Shit. Alright, we're gonna park right here.
Evidence for homeopathic medicine. There's some evidence that it works, some evidence that it doesn't. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that homeopathic medicine works. This is well-established medical fact that it does not work. And here he is on stream giving people the idea that it might actually work. Maybe you want to try it. Like, so my issue with Dr. K is not just specifically the thing that happened with Wreckful. I'm not necessarily blaming him for his suicide or anything, but this guy should not be trusted. He seems like a kook.
Huh. Okay. I guess I'd be interested in seeing like more specific quotes. I don't feel like everything you're saying could be bad or it could be good. I would just have to hear how it's presented, I guess. I do think that like Western approaches to mental health right now are pretty shit, including our drug therapies are like pretty bad right now. But I mean, obviously, if you're saying shit like, oh, like your dosha can be better than Prozac or whatever, I don't know. I mean, that could be said in a really stupid way. So I'd have to like, I feel like I really need to see the, need to see the quote.
He's backed away from that, the Ayurveda stuff. And I mean, when he talks about things like dosha, oh, there's the air dosha, there's the fire dosha, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's no clinical way to actually, you know, diagnose somebody with a specific dosha. Like, it's just nonsense. It's basically just literally ancient medicine where you go up to some shaman or, you know, wise person to do a reading. Oh, I feel the dosha inside you. Oh, yes, it's fire. Like, it's just nonsense. And he's promoting this as a fucking medical doctor and claiming that there are patients that he's treated, they could not be effectively treated with modern medicine, like which includes drug therapies, but then within 6 months, with this dosha bullshit, he's able to get them completely off of meds and they're perfectly happy and healthy.
I mean,
like again, that just sounds like absolute.
Yeah, again, I understand everything you're
shit.
saying, but we're running into the same problem a lot when you come here. I need quotes. Like, obviously, like, I can't just
Well,
trust what you say to.
Yeah.
Well,
summarize
I
this,
mean, the like what 3-4 minute clip you just saw. There's again, you can watch the whole video if you want on your free time or whatever. There's a lot of other clips, but like again, do you not find it troubling that a medical doctor would say something like, "Oh yeah, there's mixed evidence for homeopathic medicine"?
We're looping again. I would have to hear the context in which he says it. I think it's important.
What context does it make sense for him to say there's mixed evidence supporting homeopathic medicine?
I don't know. That's why I would have to hear it.
Okay, I'll answer that
so
for you.
bad
There's
that
no
he wants to
context
hear
in
the
which it's okay
context.
for a doctor to say there's mixed evidence for homeopathic medicine.
Well, he might
Because
say
there
like
isn't.
mixed evidence for homeopathic evidence versus like SSRIs, which like barely beat placebo. In which case, that maybe that could be true. Like I don't know, but like I said, why would I not just want to see the original quote before passing judgment?
Wait, that I don't see how that analogy you made makes any sense.
I'm just saying, like, why would I not want to see the original quote? I'm not gonna say like, yeah, that's a ridiculous thing to say. I would just like to see the original quote. Yeah.
Well, again, this is
Oh,
established
shit.
medical fact. I mean, they even teach this in medical school that homeopathic medicine doesn't work. There was a really large comprehensive study, and I think it was conducted by the NHS or the NIH, and they concluded homeopathic medicine should not
this the new
be
Armored Core
covered
game?
by government healthcare.
Yeah, that's
because
fine.
again, it has
But there's
absolutely
like, but there is stuff that's covered by insurance that's also like bullshit. So that's not even a good metric. Like most insurances cover chiropractic, for instance.
Right,
So,
but I'm not talking about it not being covered by insurance or government healthcare. I'm saying this is well-established medical fact that it does not work, and here is a medical doctor who should know better, claiming that it might work.
Why should he know?
And again, in
I
that
mean,
clip as well, he says there's better evidence for Ayurveda than for homeopathic
Oh,
medicine.
that's a dumb thing
like
for him
again,
to say.
like Ayurveda's fucking nonsense. It's ancient medicine. Like there's no research on it. So for him to even say that,
Well, there
it's
is.
just
I'm pretty sure there
ridiculous.
is research on Ayurvedic stuff. Now, whether that research
Well,
is good
there
or
might.
bad,
Well, again, there
Yeah, you
might
can't say there's
be
no research on something.
say research on the effectiveness
pretty
of like
sure everything's been
meditation,
researched
which is part of Ayurvedic medicine. But
Except for the undiscovered yet,
no, like as far as I don't even know if it could be studied the way he explains it, because again,
Which again
you
is
have
an obvious
bullshit
statement,
like
so.
examining somebody's
insane.
doshas. Like, how are you gonna fucking study that? You can't.
I mean, I'm sure we could think of ways to study it. I don't. If you want to show me quotes or clips of him directly, I can like comment on those. But I'm not going to comment on your summary of the clips. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I'm just.
Yeah, I think that's what he
Welcome to the
wants. He
party.
just wanted to show him that
Thanks
one
for
clip,
joining
that
us
one
and
clip that
celebrating
didn't,
everything that makes.
provide him with the evidence.
Okay,
like,
look.
provide him with the impact that he thought Destiny was going to have, and now he's trying to. It feels like he's trying to backpedal and say that there's other clips, which there very well might be, right? But without, and he's really defensive about Destiny wanted to see them hands-on. That he's not just believing Destiny, and that Destiny's not just believing him. I think that's frustrating him. And yeah, he's not just wanting to accept the defeat on that, I guess. That's just what it seems like to me. Could be 100% wrong. You get some of his heart back. Remember what Renowned Heart? This is the last one too. Sweet. Like this is like my least fucking favorite thing to do in each of these maps. Are these damn Renowned Hearts. Let's shut up now. I mean, they tried to replace the questing system in this game with Renowned Hearts to make it more, but it's just Renowned Hearts are pretty much just fucking quests. It's like fight centaurs until this bar's full. Instead of giving us an arbitrary number, it's giving us a bunch of stuff to fill up an arbitrary bar. And again, I don't necessarily mind that, but I don't necessarily mind quests either. I do really like this game though. This game's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Let's fill this bar up and then we will you son of a bitch. Trying to fill this bar up here, just killing all the shit I'm trying to kill. Get out of here. We don't take kindly to your type around here. I just need to kill one more guy, or two more guys, or two more fucking banners. Here's this phone here. Okay, we're done. Nice. Nice. Alright. That's the last one of those. Alright. Back to this.
There's no way to study something like doshas because, again, you're talking about like spiritual energy.
Well, you could get some people to identify doshas, do treatment plans for them, and then see if it works or not. No.
Well, right, but the issue is there's no actual objective way to examine doshas.
What do they say doshas are? They must be like something that they say a dosha is. I would imagine, no?
Yeah, it's basically spiritual energy.
Yeah, but like, don't different people have different doshas or whatever?
Yeah.
Dosha this, dosha that.
But again, it's basically like this comprehensive idea of like mind, body, spirit kind of thing, and again, it's like medieval. It talks about like earth, light, fire, air, like. If there's no way, no objective way to actually diagnose somebody with a particular dosha, how the hell can you study it? Like, you can diagnose somebody for having high blood pressure. You can diagnose somebody for having obesity. You can diagnose somebody for like a number of different physical conditions. How the fuck are you going to diagnose somebody with a particular dosha? You can't. Again, like, these things cannot
are
be
there
studied.
things? I mean, could you get 5 people together to like, and then see if they say who's got the same or different doshas or whatever? I don't know, dude.
Well,
like, why not just give me a quote? Just give me a quote from him, and then we can go over it. But I can't. I'm not gonna evaluate it.
Well,
based
sure.
on...
Like, I mean, I talked about the specific quotes. And
Yeah, but you talking about the specific quote isn't the same as just giving me the quote.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, the fundamental problem, dude, is that again, like the example that you shouldn't disagree with me on at all, the homeopathic medicine thing. This is well-established medical fact. And he's going.
What do you think? Hold on. When you say that it's well-established
science.
medical fact, what do you think is a well-established medical fact?
That homeopathic medicine doesn't work.
What do you think?
I don't even know if that's true.
What do you think modern medicine?
That's absolutely true.
Isn't
based off-
homeopathy like a whole field of like a ton of different things? So like for instance,
No.
chiropractic stuff, quote
Chiropractic's
unquote,
nonsense.
doesn't. Yeah, but some of it, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was mixed evidence on chiropractic medicine.
There is not.
No, I know you're wrong about that. Hold on, wait, I know you're wrong about that. There are people that go and they can report like certain types of pain subsiding, even if the practice of chiropractic is bullshit and everything special is bullshit. There are some people that do see benefit.
Well,
okay.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know if
this
it's
is well
bullshit,
studied, and I'll
right.
explain to you why most chiropractic.
I don't know if chiropractic is bullshit, but I will tell you that it fucking scares me. It absolutely fucking scares me. And it only scares me because recently I found out that, not recently, like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I get, that's fairly recent. That they're not even fucking doctors. I was like, they call themselves doctors, right? So like, cause I went to one like a long time ago to get like my back aligned or whatever the fuck they call it, an alignment done. And you fucking bastard. You son of a bitch. And I mean my back felt better afterwards. But
I can't wait to explore this place.
after I found out, like, they're not a fucking doctor, they're just some fucking guy. That's scary shit, man. Commune with this place of power. There's a portal. I don't think I've ever taken this portal. Where does this take me? Okay. That's not. Oh, okay. This is back to where we fucking were with the centaurs. But yeah, that scared me. Fuck, my voice just cracked. That scared me. That it's just like, what happens if that dude fucks me up? Nothing. I mean, I guess I could sue him, but like, fuck me, right? He doesn't have a license to revoke. Oh, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't fucking know. I don't know enough about chiropractic, but I know that it terrifies me, and I will never fuck with it again. We're almost done. We're about to map this bitch. There better be another fucking hero point up here. If there's not. Oh, there is. Oh, wait.
Good hunting.
Speak your riddle. Much sharper than a wolf's teeth. Give me that rum. Where's the rum? Got that. Alright, done. Snowden drifts. We ain't got shit from there, man. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Delete that. Oh, do we... Okay. So, I think we'll go here for now, but we want this one. Ours, you grant also gain grant regeneration vigor, then we also want this one. Heal allies, you grant an aura too.
The waters rage.
Does this have an aura? Does this do an aura? Fire aura. Okay, gotcha. Fire aura. So if I do this, it gives me an aura. The damage is increased. Okay. let's go back to
chiropractic medicine's nonsense.
Mhm.
Back pain resolves on its own in most cases. So if you actually...
I'm gonna tell you right now from experience, back pain does not resolve on its own. Alright, we're gonna train this one, but we won't be able to learn it. This right now, we can do all the legendary stuff. We need 4 more mastery points to be able to deal with that shit. Okay. Okay, so that's done. We'll probably hop down to here. And then knock out these ones and then fucking Valkyrie sleep. I don't know if I want to do that right now though. I'm 77% world completion. That's just Corteria though, that's not any of the expansion stuff. But we will be doing all the expansion stuff as well. But we're gonna go through Living Story Season 1. And then I gotta buy Season 2, which we will buy. And then we'll go through Heart of Thorns. And then Season 3. And then Path of Fire in Season 4. And then the Icebrood Saga. And then End of Dragons. And then the new content. Which we're not there yet.
do a trial where you have people with back pain and they go to a chiropractor, and you also have basically the control group where they're told to just sit, wait out the pain. You don't see a difference between the two groups. The reason is back pain resolves on its own, and it wasn't them going to the chiropractor that actually resolved their back pain. It's just that, again, the back pain resolved on its own, and they attribute it to the chiropractic treatment. There's no treatment in chiropractic that actually has any proven efficacy except for back pain with a mechanical cause. So you can have very strange injuries. I've actually had one of these before, where you can have significant spinal compression, and you can actually basically get your spine decompressed, and that can resolve back pain. I fell in hockey and I ran my head right into the boards. My spine and my neck compressed, and I went to a chiropractor, like basically pulled on my neck, and it resolved the pain. That actually does work. But again, if you're talking about general back pain, like you picked up something off the ground, suddenly your back is thrown out, going to a chiropractor won't fix that. But anyway, this is well-established medical fact. Homeopathic medicine does not work, and it's fucked up that you have a guy who's a medical doctor on YouTube claiming that it might work. There's mixed evidence.
Okay.
Like,
well,
like
show
again,
me
it just
show me the clip of that, and I'll be like, wow, that's pretty. Up.
Show you the clip.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'll try to find it.
You know, you think if you're gonna go argue something right there,
Just give me like
you're gonna want all your
couple minutes.
evidence
No problem.
out there. And I've also done this where something popped in my head and argued it, but this is his whole
Some people want
point.
to give me the only clip you need.
This is his whole point. There's been things that I've argued that I went on a tangent off onto, and
talked a fair amount about Ayurveda. Generally speaking, when I talk about Ayurveda, I talk about it more from a personality analysis standpoint. And as part of the support for Ayurveda, I cited a couple of scientific papers.
Okay.
7 months ago, someone in our community made a
found
post
it.
sort of
I'll
questioning the
just,
veracity of the research that we were citing. And it turns out that they made
message
really, really
this
good
to
arguments.
you again,
so we
so
talked
that's
about
the
it on stream,
link with the
addressed their criticism.
timestamp.
Turns out that a lot of their criticisms were actually really good. And for the last 7 months, we haven't said a word about Ayurveda. Internally, we're going through the process of reviewing a whole body of Ayurvedic research. My point here is that sometimes at HG, we'll say particular things that we believe are correct, and we'll even do some research and we'll cite papers and stuff like that. But no scientific paper is perfect. And as members from our community will point out those kinds of things, we will absolutely adjust our behavior. So one of the things that we really value and hold ourselves to a very high standard.
okay, just based off that, it seems like he's vetting it, which is the thing to do. Like, if you have a process, you fucking vet it out, you know, to see if there's any fucking flaws, see if it's consistent. See if you're not just fucking hung up on it because it's your idea or an idea that you're just really behind. I mean, he said someone called him out and he's like, oh, well, you brought up some good arguments. Let's vet this out. I don't see the problem there. I don't see what he's fucking complaining about. He seems like he's being thorough. I mean, the thing he's being thorough about may be fucking bullshit, but at least he's not just fucking going like, oh, nope. It's gospel. I don't know.
About is actually accepting feedback from our community. Talked a fair amount about.
Okay.
Asking, what do I think about homeopathy? So I think homeopathy has less biological plausibility than Ayurveda. There's a reason why I chose to study Ayurveda instead of homeopathy. The clinical evidence is like mixed. I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. It's kind of bizarre, but there is some clinical evidence behind it. But the scientific plausibility is just really makes no sense, which doesn't mean that it isn't true. It could mean that we don't really understand as much, right? So for thousands of years, or like not thousands of years, but 60 years ago, medical professionals did not understand the mechanism. They didn't see a way in which meditation could be used as a treatment for depression. They didn't understand. I don't understand, like, you have to talk to people's feelings to make them feel better. I don't understand how sitting down and chanting Om for 30 minutes is going to help someone's depression. There's no, like, psychology. Freud would have been confused, right? Because he's like, where's the Oedipal complex?
I don't think that this quote is that bad.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't really seem to be that bad, to be honest with you. I don't know why he's hung up on this more.
Begin destruction protocol.
It's not showing off if you earned it.
Now I shall break you.
Alright, oh, we got another bag. Ooh, butter. We got some butter. How's it on those? Who can see? God, man, why is slamming fucking doors? Shit. Beggar's Row, Queenstown, Eastern Divinity Dam. The Aurora Boreal Caves. Well, that's weird. We're getting close to our 1,000 achievement chest, which is nice. There's probably a bunch of crap in there, like there normally is. Let's see. Oh yeah, but ultimately it doesn't really seem like
horrific.
Okay.
Even entertaining the idea that homeopathy, regardless of, like, he admitted the biological plausibility of it is low, but he entertained the idea that it could actually work. And then he said, oh, like, 60 years ago, they didn't know why meditation works, like for, depression or whatever, but now they understand. So, oh, maybe in the future.
There's
Like,
literally
again, this is
nothing wrong with any of the
well-established
things you
medical
just
fact.
said. None of what you just said was wrong.
No, there is. It is well-established medical
No, there
fact that
is,
homeopathy
because I
does
don't
not
agree.
fucking work. Like, again, maybe you should talk to Dr. Avi about this. Like, any fucking competent medical doctor will tell you. You don't even have to be a medical doctor. Like, just any competent person who knows how to do basic research would know that. Like, he's more well-educated than I am. or well, you know, I just think he lacks fucking sense. I also think he has an issue with claiming he knows things when he doesn't, and he doesn't actually bother doing some of the research. But like for him to even entertain the idea that homeopathic medicine works,
I think when
or
it
might
comes to
work.
mental health, I don't think it's the
Yeah,
worst thing
someone
to
in the
entertain that
comments,
because
I
our
know I
Western
don't have
interventions
much
for
on-
mental health are fucking
none of my
horrible
chat's,
right now.
talking
No,
right now, but
well,
it's not
no,
the
they're
normal
not
record
horrible.
game.
They are absolutely, they're dog shit.
They're not
They're fucking
horrible.
terrible. What do
So
you mean?
medications. So guess what? Medications have efficacy.
Barely.
They are improving. Well, no,
Barely.
they don't barely have efficacy.
They
No,
barely
don't
have
barely
it. My
have
understanding
efficacy.
is that like the
They do
entire
not
model of
barely have
serotonin as a
efficacy.
basis for depression was questioned
There
like last
isn't
year.
just
I don't
ser-
even
there
know if
aren't
people
just
believe that it's
SSRIs.
necessarily. No, there are SNRIs too, and there are other types of like therapeutic interventions. But
SPRIs,
sure,
yeah,
yeah,
there-
there are a lot of drugs, but like we barely understand.
And by the
like,
way,
I
and by the way, meditation and exercise is being recommended as well.
Sure, that's fine. But I'm just
exercise
saying
in
that like
particular.
right now right now
Exercise has been known to help with depression. And I don't think it's because of serotonin levels. I think it's because of endorphins, right? When you exercise, you release endorphins, which make you feel good, which can alleviate depressive feelings. Again, not a doctor, just based off of my friend Teddy. I've known this, and he's done this because like every time I've had a rough patch in my life, I've gone to the gym and I worked out, and you know it helps you get through it. You don't feel like, I mean, like if you're really sad about something, and it's really fucking you up inside, you're not gonna, it's not gonna do a 180 on you, and you're just better. But it does alleviate what you're currently going through. So
our medical interventions are really in their infancy, especially since so many other drugs have been blocked from research for so long. The therapeutic interventions are okay, but like to say that like our mental health understanding or our mental health interventions are great, I don't know if I would agree
I'm not
with
saying
that.
they're great.
Okay, well then what are you even disagreeing with me about?
I'm disagreeing with you on the claim that it's not unreasonable for a medical doctor to support homeopathic medicine. That's fucking
It didn't sound like he
crazy.
was supporting it though.
He was supporting it. He was entertaining the idea that it
Hold
might
on,
work.
whoa. You're literally doing the thing. Have you heard the quote that it takes a great mind to entertain an idea without endorsing it? Do you understand there's a difference between those
Oh my
two
God.
things? You understand that he was
Okay,
entertaining
dude.
it, but he wasn't endorsing it. You know there's a difference between those two things, right?
Did you did you see the part?
Yes.
Hi, I have some bad.
In the
I'm just gonna pause this right now. I'm running this cave. Yeah, like I entertain a lot of thoughts that I don't like endorse. I mean, I think everybody does. It's not just great minds. Like we all listen to people we don't agree with on their ideas, but we listen to them and entertain them, but we don't endorse those ideas. I think everybody does it. Not just great minds. I think everybody does it to a degree. Let's get this vista. I don't care about looking at the snow. Boom. Boom. Alright, back to this.
clip where he made the analogy with meditation, and he said, "Oh, well, years ago meditation wasn't supported, but now it is. Now we understand that it works." Like,
Yes, I did
by
hear that, yes.
entertaining the idea, he was giving people the idea who were watching that maybe you should possibly try homeopathic.
I don't think he was
medicine.
saying that at all. I think he was just saying keep an open mind. There might be some underpinnings
There's
to
no
homeopathy.
open mind to keep.
Okay,
The
all
case
right.
is closed. Homeopathic medicine
Bring,
does
where's
not
Doc?
work.
You can quote Doc. You can bring Dr. Ivy in here if you want. Go for it. I'm pretty confident he'll
I
agree
don't know
with
if
me.
he's. I don't know if he's free right now. I think he's in the same time zone as me, but let me. Let me message him.
No, I mentioned this guy.
Yeah, I don't know
He's
when
gonna
he
back-
gets off work. It's probably like around now. Is there any like doctors in chat who could back me up?
There's one doctor in chat, but he hates you right now, so. I think KKMD is a physician, right? I was gonna wait for Avi, because he'll come in here.
Well, I would just want to know what the contention is.
Yeah, so I said it was irresponsible for a medical doctor who has a YouTube channel on a YouTube stream to say to his audience that there's mixed evidence for homeopathic medicine. The way Dr. K presented it, it sounded like he suggested like a 50-50 chance it might work.
That is not the case. You should make Avi watch the actual clips, because your summary of everything he says is fucking horrible.
Well, he said some studies
let me
show
say
it works,
what
some
he said.
studies show
What
it
he said
doesn't.
was, so there's a guy that this guy really hates called Dr. K, and Dr. K made this statement that the evidence for homeopathy is mixed at best, and that, or he said that the evidence is mixed, and we can't think of any biological like mechanism of action basically for why any of this stuff
did
would
say
work. And he said something like that. And then what Vegan Gains is upset about is he's saying that by presenting it that way, he's making it sound like there's, I guess he just said now, a 50-50 chance that it might work.
Well, wait. He did, after saying that, also state that 50 or so years ago we thought meditation didn't do anything because again there was no mechanism of which we could understand how meditation would improve like mood or symptoms of depression. And then he said now we understand why. So he was also suggesting that might not necessarily mean much.
No, he was saying that we might have an evolution of belief over stuff related to homeopathy. That maybe stuff related to homeopathy in the future might be validated for one reason or another. But right now there's mixed
And by
evidence
the way, homeopathy meaning diluting some sort of adjuvant or irritant or something. I think typically you do it 9 times. And then you consume it, drink it, or sometimes it's in a pill form.
Sure, that's fine. I believe homeopathy can extend to more than just that, though, I think. But
I don't think that would be specifically homeopathic medicine then.
That's fine. That you think that.
Well, all right, I guess I'll have to watch the videos to form a view. One thing I will say is that mixed at best is an important qualifier. It doesn't give me a 50-50 indication.
Agreed.
And to also say that there's no understood mechanism by which it would work. That also leads, that doesn't give me a 50-50 indication. In fact, that gives me a. So I'll say one there. So if that's what he said, then I'm not getting a 50-50 indication from Dr. K. If he said those words, if he said. Again, this is with all this is understood as I haven't watched the video. I have to do it to form an opinion. These are conditional opinions.
Fuck, man. Not panning out like you thought it would, did it? I'm sorry, that's fucking funny. I'll get Dr. Avi in here, and he'll set you straight. I'm sorry, man. I'm not beating the razz on the guy too hard, but fuck. He just wants what he thinks to so be true. I mean, I guess we all do that to an extent, but still. I can laugh at him. Let's get this heart.
How'd that be? Excruciating?
Wait, how the hell are these sons of spawn here fucking me up with fire when they're supposed to be all ice related? You can't use fire. You follow the ice dragon. How are we doing? We're almost done. Wow, this place is kind of trippy, man. This place is kind of trippy. Let's move on. Come on. Let's get around this shit to a safe spot. Did the shatter. Oh, we already did this too. Oh, I think that was that hard. Never mind. Let's get to that waypoint and then we will. We'll chill right here for a second. Alright.
Appearance. So yeah, saying mixed at best and no understood mechanism by which it would work. That sounds like someone who, you know, may have their sympathies for it, but is like willing to say like, all right, the data's really not there to recommend this.
He also said fucking Ayurveda has better evidence than homeopathy, which
is probably true, because I think that homeopathy evidence is very bad, mixed at
Well-
best. But I'm sure there are probably, because Ayurvedic is so broad, I'm sure there are probably some parts of it.
Ayurveda is so broad that it includes things that aren't even technically unique to Ayurvedic medicine.
That's
so,
fine,
like,
but they might
again-
still be a part of Ayurvedic medicine. Just like
Yeah,
we might be
I
able to say there
know.
might be some shaman treatments that are medically efficacious, but those are also encompassed by
well,
like
those
modern
aren't
day.
shaman. Well, then
I'm
that's
sorry,
not
my bad, I
shamanism. That's
almost
just
finished the
medicine.
sentence, my bad. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that medicine is broad and grows to encompass things from other disciplines that we might not wholly embrace.
And again, like he goes on to talk about doshas, like as if that has better evidence than homeopathy.
If I can just make a point in process, one thing I would caution everyone to be sensitive to is couching a lot of things under broad term, but when like there's but when one wants to make a final statement about whether something works or not, instead of talking about the specific things within that umbrella, they just refer to the umbrella. So, for example, like Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medicine might include like 1,000 different interventions for 100 different exposure outcome relationships, and maybe like 99% of them don't work and 1% does, and like the 1% that may work, they'll say, aha, see, Ayurvedic medicine works. Or if it was the reverse, like, you know, just, and that would be just as silly as if like 99% of the Ayurvedic interventions worked and 1% didn't, and they just said the 1% that didn't, so therefore Ayurvedic medicine doesn't work. So instead of just like getting into this haze about like, oh, this umbrella term Ayurvedic medicine or homeopathy or whatever it is, just talk about, okay, we're in this category of Ayurvedic medicine. There's all these different proposed exposure outcome relations. What specific ones do you think work? What specific ones do you think don't? I think that would be more productive than just saying like, oh, this broad, vague category.
Homeopathy is specific.
We're talking about Ayurvedic. Okay, never mind.
But you said homeopathy as well. I'm saying that is
We-
one of
we
the
were-
specific
there was
ones.
contention about-
We moved topics.
There was a contention in the conversation about how specific it was. Maybe it applied to things other than dilution.
No,
Regardless
not
whether that's
homeopathy
true.
doesn't. It's all.
Can somebody
Why
just
are
go?
you
Hold on.
even
Can somebody? Wait,
fucking
wait,
here
wait. Can somebody
talking
just go?
to
Well, hold on,
us?
because Vegan Games, this is your contention too. Can somebody Google this? Just find out. This isn't easy. Like, just Google it. It's either right or wrong. My understanding is that when people talk about like homeopathic
homeopathic medicine, that they can talk about things that are more than just like the dilution shit. But I could be wrong. I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like I've heard people in the past talk about homeopathic treatments, and it's not just that dilution stuff. But I could be wrong. Literally, just look it up.
I can say my nan on my dad's side used to be a homeopath, and I ate an entire jar of sugar pills. It obviously did nothing. So I'm aware of what homeopathy is specifically, and it is a specific part of if it's covered under Ayurveda.
So
I don't
the
know.
first link that I found basically says, like what I said, it's a thing of treating like with like. So if you are experiencing some problem with an irritant, using a very small amount of that irritant will build up your body's immune response or something and activate some sort of healing property. And again, it requires dilution of that irritant.
Yeah, so it's basically
So
just a sugar pill
that's-
at the end.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
wait,
there are some...
Only that? Is it limited to that, or is there like any other thing under homeopathy that like doesn't involve that would be included under that term?
No, that I'm aware of.
Are you sure?
No, so there might be homeopaths that will tell you to change your diet or some shit like that, but that's not...
On top of HEB's everyday low prices, you could save even more with hundreds of yellow coupons. In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2. Yeah, there's only 2.
Get online in no time and give your
I shop
business a
at H-E-B.
boost for
Yeah, it's okay.
$149.
They have that
Web.com will
stuff. That's why I
design, build, and...
That's...
So I get my groceries, but yeah. Like I think the other day we went there and we like with us you saved $1, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. And it was like fucking $80 for 2 bags of fucking groceries, and it was like fucking almost nothing. You didn't even get any meat, I don't think. Like we bought a cow like a while back. And I don't know why I'm bitching about fucking groceries, but we bought part of a cow a while back, and it was pretty good. It tastes different. You can really taste the pain, and it's delicious. But it took a little bit to get used to, because we got like a bunch of the ground beef like this, because we eat a lot of ground beef. It's not an acquired taste, but you had like if you eat store ground beef and then you try this, it tastes entirely different. So it's like you have to get used to it a little bit. It doesn't taste bad, it just tastes different. And it's like not something I can describe, it's something that you have to kind of like experience for yourself. And it might just because of the fat content, or I don't know, or the freshness of it. I don't really know what causes it, but it's still delicious. It's just different. I think I'll do burgers. I think I'll make some burgers. That sounds really good. You got these spider targets and you ain't even killing the spiders, bro. I'm killing the spiders. What the fuck's up with that? You're over here training to fight spiders. There's spiders like right here. You can fight the spider. Fucking Scrit, dude. Scrit ain't shit. Say that. Let's go. Alright, let's get these. Let's touch these sticky webs. I'm gonna finish this heart, and then we'll go back to the video. After we finish this video, I'm probably gonna hop off. I'll download the VOD, and then, I don't know if, Okay, cool. Nobody said I can download it. I should be able to download it. I will upload it. Let's see here. Security. Just gonna do this. Okay. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Change setup. Boom. Done. Alrighty. Boom, boom, boom. Two-factor done. Stream. Let's go back to this.
It's not homeopathy.
Let's go back
Homeopathy is that very specific thing. It's kind of like chiropractic. Homeopathy is that where chiropractic it's kind of like chiropractic. Homeopathy is that subluxation. The idea of like realigning a spine to activate healing powers, but chiropractors might actually employ legitimate physical therapy techniques.
All right. Well, the point either way, regardless of who's right on this, because I haven't looked into it, because I don't really care to. But the point either way is that to whatever degree an umbrella term has more and more claimed interventions for exposure outcome relationships, it's more and more important to not just invoke the umbrella term and say it works or it doesn't work. It's important to actually dig down and separate the different claims, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
You didn't understand that earlier.
Like my very specific criticism of Ayurvedic medicine is it relies on this term called doshas, and you can just Google doshas. It's just fucking nonsense. It like talks about earth, like water, fire, spirit powers, and it has like some sort of mind-body connection. Like it's just garbage. And again, there's a medical doctor promoting this stupid idea where the core belief of this is diagnosing somebody with a certain dosha, which again, you're water spirit or you have fire spirit, but like you're earth-bodied, basically. Yeah,
So
it's basic. It's literally Avatar.
Was there a point of contention over doshas?
Yeah, well, I was criticizing him for supporting this idea as a medical doctor. Like, again, if one of the core principles when it comes to determining treatments
I don't think that's
is this diagnosis.
A medical.
I don't think that's a core principle. It might be a principle, not a core one. Let's see. Ayurveda. Ayurveda. I don't know.
doctor?
Yeah, he's a medical doctor, and he was claiming.
So he's criticizing
he's
this,
supporting
right?
him as a medical.
But I bet.
Sorry?
I bet.
Do you say like your criticism of Destiny was that he was supporting Dr. K as a medical doctor?
I haven't
No,
supported
it's
anything.
criticizing
My
Dr.
issue
K.
is that when Vegan Games comes in with a lot of like claims or statements, oftentimes he does it with no. He won't like send me a clip or give me like an actual thing, and then when I go and look at the actual statements made, they're never as like bombastic as he says they are. So then.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I get when I listen to this. Is that, I mean, I agree with him that doshas are kind of weird. It's not kind of weird, but I don't think any medical doctor should be like encouraging them, because it does seem a little bit off. But it's also like a belief system for him. Then I can't really knock it. But at the same time, and I've only seen him like a handful of times on Destiny's podcast, and it does seem to be that every time he comes in, he makes some fucking wild ass fucking claim, and then when you look at he like reads way too deep into the situation to take away a meaning that he just conjured up. Like, well, this means this because he said it. It's like, well, do you think he could have meant this? No, absolutely not. I think he's just ironclad on that until it's like shoved in his face and he's like, oh fuck, maybe I was wrong. And I don't even think he admits he's wrong, he just kind of leaves.
It kind of changes the way that they view the original things. Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
then
again,
my previous question. So, is there a dispute over doshas?
I don't think so. I think Destiny would agree with me that it's nonsense, but like again, the problem I have is I don't think you should trust a medical doctor that's supporting this idea of doshas in Ayurvedic medicine when like the core, like the first pathway to determining treatment is to diagnose somebody with a specific dosha or doshas when you can't do that. Like again, the idea is just silly. And I just wouldn't trust a medical doctor who believes in this sort of bullshit.
Well, then don't
it
trust
calls
him.
into question any of his advice. Because if he has such a lapse in judgment when it comes to something like literal medieval medicine, I don't think you could trust him when it comes to other things. So I just say, look for another expert, aside from Dr. K.
Okay, well then just do that.
Do you know if like this dosha stuff is like a central part of like his actual practice, like his therapy? Like if you were in a therapy session.
Not anymore. Yeah,
I
not
don't
anymore.
believe it ever was, but.
Well, he was really fucking promoting it on his website, and he even made like online seminars talking about doshas and how important they are to determining root causes of both physical and mental health issues.
Happened, but I'm not sure.
I literally showed you a clip.
So I think, Abby, the issue is that, like, so Dr. K, as a psychiatrist, feels like our current Western medical health interventions are really poor. So sometimes he draws upon things that he studied in Eastern medicine, and he said these might be, it feels to me, I'm saying from what I've seen, it feels to me like he says these things in Eastern medicine might be hinting at or pushing towards something that might give us a better patient outcomes if we kind of like incorporate some of this stuff or think about the way that they approach things over here. That seems to be like, broadly speaking, kind of like what he pushes for. Yeah.
Medicine is a misnomer.
Okay.
Wait, what?
He doesn't like the term Eastern medicine because he's going to say Eastern medicine is called Eastern medicine because it's all quackery, and if it was real medicine, it would just be called medicine. Eastern medicine is largely not evidence-based, so it shouldn't be called that.
Well, it's not even Eastern medicine. It's just it's called Ayurvedic medicine, but again, it's not medicine. It's basically religious beliefs.
So this is going back to what I said earlier, guys. So
yeah, you haven't seen the clips.
Be aware. No. But I'm saying be aware. No, what I said earlier is be aware. Be very sensitive to what broad terms that have 1,000 outcome relations. So you talk about Eastern medicine, right? So like that's vague. I mean, that doesn't really like. Oh, Dr. K, like there's the Eastern medicine can mean a whole lot of things. Like what exactly what exposure outcome claim is Dr. K making within Eastern medicine?
Again, the specific problem I brought up is he likes
I think this is falling apart for him
doshas, and he uses
because
that
he expected for Dr. Avi to just come jump in and fucking
appropriate
just
treatment options.
fucking
So that point of
is
contention.
silly.
It sounds like
settle
Destiny
his
doesn't believe he
argument
does
for him.
Yeah, if I saw a thing where he's like, listen, you've got an XYZ dosha, and I'm going to recommend this as treatment for you, I think I would have a pretty big... I think I would have a pretty...
We saw the clip, like, yesterday.
Do you want to show Dr. Avi that clip and tell me, and ask him if he thinks that
Sure,
what you're saying is an accurate representation of that clip? Go for it. I could be wrong.
Sure. Now, again, this also involves his website where he was promoting Ayurvedic medicine and
just
shit like that.
keep trying to pull more evidence into.
Yeah, and by the way,
into the court.
I'm not
This
being
evidence was
totally
administered
uncharitable.
before.
I know he does use modern medicine. I'm not denying that. Like he won't. It's not like he won't prescribe
Wait,
antidepressants
does
or
this
something.
fucker use doshas or not? Show me the clip. Like,
Yeah,
what-
sure.
Like, even he's getting fed up.
Wait, why the fuck can't I see your messages? Oh, here we go. Just
Fucking
give
Christ,
me
man.
1
It's
second.
like, what the hell, dude? It's like, believe it. I mean, I don't think you should bring your religious
Oh, here's a
systems
good
into
one.
medicine. It's like, I don't
So
know, like,
he
with
he made a claim about COVID,
Jehovah's
saying
Witnesses, they can't
doshas
take
actually
anybody else's blood.
predict
Vegan Games also does this
COVID.
thing where anytime I ask him for evidence or like a clip of what we're seeing, as he's looking for it, or even if he doesn't look for it, he just continues to like kind of stack claim after. I don't know why he's doing this. Instead of just
I'm
finding out
looking
why.
at the fucking clip.
Okay,
Just
but
give
just
me a
like link the thing,
fucking
because like
second,
in the
dude.
process of doing this, if I didn't say something, you would just like say thing after thing. We haven't even established that.
No,
like, the
I
first thing
wouldn't.
is you've done this before, and you were just doing it
You
right
do
now.
it all the time. Well,
the clip.
As
all the
surely
time
as the
based
sun
off
is going
the
to rise
handful of
tomorrow,
times
I
I've seen
think
them.
you are going
Like,
to
these are
continue
two
stacking
new
red
things
statements that he's made.
for me to view.
$0.75 boneless wings from
God.
Pizza Hut. Yeah.
75-cent boneless wings, dude. Boom, we're on there. Let's do it.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket and
I
watch
don't
your
give a fuck
favorite
about NFL
NFL
Sunday
teams'
Ticket.
out-of-market Sunday games live. All
Not a football guy. If anybody's wondering where I fall in religious beliefs, I'm a Norse pagan. That's mine. My wife's Christian. Let's get in here. Oh shit, I remember this. Boom. Not that. Let's drop that. I'm up for a fight. Let's go. Let's go, bitch.
There's the power.
Okay. Let's go. I think I'm pretty safe right here. Alright.
Meow. Meow.
What the fuck's going on?
Is Destiny watching something?
No, we're all just hanging out.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to.
I'm just trying to find the clip.
Oh, hi, Vegan Games. Let me tell you what I ate today. I had a chimichanga with beans and beef.
Yeah, good. Choke on it. Fucking die.
Kelly Jean, what is your strife with my?
Wait, but which dosha is gonna kill her?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Sorry, what did you say, Zena?
Wait, do Xena and Vegan Games hate each
Right.
other? Did I miss something?
No, I love Vegan Games.
Everybody
I
loves
love
lemons.
Vegan Games. I just wanted to troll him for a second.
That's the problem I have with vegans.
Yeah, no, we're cool. I'm gonna go on his thing and talk more about veganism just one-on-one pretty soon here. But Kelly Jean, I've just been hearing these things. You and my mans don't get along. No one really explains the lore behind it. So since I have your attention, I would love to hear the story.
Kelly thinks that Darius is creepy and rapey around women.
I didn't say rapey once ever in my. You need to stop this because it's past the point of being funny to me.
Yeah, don't put words in her mouth.
Can you-
Yes, exactly.
If you ask me not to do it anymore with a voice, I'll stop doing it.
Which one?
Stop doing it, Steven.
Okay, I won't say rapey
Jesus.
anymore.
Thank fucking God.
Okay, here's the first clip. I'm just gonna send this to Avi. It's a clip with the timestamp.
It
I'm
really
just going through
seems
some of the
that,
clips you might want to watch. So this first clip,
lot of
he
vegans
claims
that I've
that
encountered
he's found
personally, they get
Ayurvedic
Why does that take
medicine
screen from his website?
is
What does he
more
gain from
effective
citing viewers
ultimately
from
than
Whitey?
traditional
It's like, I don't
treatment.
give a
That
fuck that
includes
you're not
like
eating meat, right? It doesn't bother me.
psychotherapy,
Shouldn't bother
medication.
you that I eat meat.
And he was
Stop giving a
claiming
fuck
that
about what other people
within
do.
about 6 months, a lot of patients who were on meds, he can take them off with
Okay,
Ayurvedic
but
treatment.
that's not what
Yeah,
we talked
yeah, I know. I'm just going through these clips one by one. It's hard to find the actual clips, but
But I'll tell you, like,
How's it hard to find? You
again,
just had
he goes into detail about some of these doshas and how it can be used to prescribe certain treatments and
does he do
patient
that-
outcome.
Does he do that?
So,
Something also, Dr.
No,
Avi, I don't know what your
I don't
personal
think in-
experience is with this, and initially I thought it was kind of dumb, but after...
okay, you know what? I'm just gonna back out. I need to fucking go eat and shit. I'm gonna send you the. I'm gonna send you the clips and.
Yeah, he's running away.
You can.
Can you just send him the clips you sent me yesterday?
I just want to know if the clip I'm about to watch is the dosha clip. That's literally all I'm trying to establish.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. I'll just do that first. Let me just mute my fucking earphones because I'm fucking getting annoyed. I'll be back in a second.
Because you're wrong.
My
So these are
understanding
two
is that a
separate
lot
things.
of therapists, even if they're trained in psychology, I don't know about psychiatry, is they tend to work in personal stuff in therapy, which initially my assumption would have been like, oh, if you're a therapist, you just do like CBD or CBT or like other types of like, you know, research-based.
I mean, it's kind of funny he's getting so damn pissed. Because this whole argument kind of stemmed on Dr. Avi kind of having his back on that. And it kind of fell apart. It's a little bit funny. Because he's like, I'm going to pull Dr. Avi in here and he's going to... it's kind of funny. Now that he's getting fucking razzed, he's kind of fucking just bitching out. Boom, 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 boom. Burn, 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 burn. Burn, bitch. Damn. What? Fire tornado, please. Let's go water. Get the health back up. There we go. Bunch of tiny little hits. Dude, we're gonna get that zucchini though. I don't think we have any zucchini in the bank. Give me that zook. Now we get some gold.
Interventions, but I guess my understanding is there are a lot of ones that will work like faith-based stuff in or meditation, and not like in a research way, but just like therapists have different things that they think are effective with patients. So when I listen to Dr. K, and I could be wrong by the way, I haven't listened to a lot of Dr. K, but when I listen to Dr. K, it sounds like he kind of uses these like dosha things or these other things as kind of like narrative ways to deliver basically therapeutic treatments. They're like, oh, if you imagine yourself as this archetype, and if you imagine that these things might help you, here are like some interventions we can do, and maybe it'll be better than just like taking a pill.
Yeah,
And
because you wanna separate like a religious psychiatrist or a religious therapist who may use certain elements of religion as like a guiding step to try to get the patient on the right path versus like, oh, like it says in this scripture this and this and this, and you fit this and this and this, so this you're gonna get this treatment.
Exactly, yeah. If it was the case that I watched like Dr. K episodes and he's like, oh, hey, great, I'm talking to John today. Give me one moment. John, you have this dosha, and we're gonna do this. Like if he did that, then I could understand that, like, yeah, this is like pretty fucked. But it feels like what he does is he generally listens to somebody, he'll go through like, oh, well, have you considered, and then he goes through like some very standard like therapeutic interventions for depression, for anxiety, for stuff like that. And then because obviously most people on the internet have heard of most of these, and I guess a lot of people tried a lot, sometimes he'll take it to the next level to say, oh, well, you know, like spiritually, some people would consider you like this dosha, or you have this karma, or whatever, and it might help to think of it in this. And then he kind of like frames it through this like spiritual lens. Now, there might be worse examples that I'm just not aware of, but almost everything I've seen of Dr. K roughly falls in that. And I'm somebody that is, I am a very like aspiritual atheist. Like I hate all sorts of like woo-woo quackery bullshit. I'm very much not into any of it. But it seems like that's what he does most of the time. And I don't know, I haven't had like a huge problem with what I've seen.
Yeah, no, I don't have a disagreement with that. Like, if, like you can use, even if I don't believe in the actual claims themselves, I can appreciate the difference between a therapist using stories that are not true, but may be inspirational to certain patients and might help in some way.
Yeah.
As long as we don't take the step further from that.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he was in a thing where he was like, listen, I understand you're on Prozac right now, but this dosha shouldn't be on Prozac. Instead, you should probably be like diluting water. So that would be some sure, like, okay, this is probably not good. Yeah. Also, here, actually, I'm curious what you think about this. Maybe you've done more research on this. This is a claim that I made yesterday that Vegan Games disagreed with, and I could be wrong. My understanding is where we're at right now with Western medicine and mental health is it's pretty dog shit. That, like, for instance, my understanding is that, like, SSRIs, SNRs, stuff like that, they kind of...
Available September 14th.
Like they barely beat placebo. They do in a statistically significant sense, but not that much. And that we're not doing too well on our like interventions when it comes to mental health. Would you agree broadly with that statement, or do you think I'm understating the gains we've made like in mental health pharmacology and therapeutic intervention?
Overall, really, okay, so I will give the short answer, but I must couple it with a longer answer.
Yeah, go for
it. So overall, more or less, like there's a lot that leaves to be wanted with the current status of mental health and the current interventions that we have. However, I will say that this highly depends on what exposure outcome relationship we're talking about. Again, be sensitive to the broad label, because within mental health we have outcomes like suicide, which is different from suicidality, which is different from some questionnaire that we give to assess someone's.
Sure, that is true. You have to separate it. Like antipsychotics for people that have certain types of mental health issues, or like medications that somebody with schizophrenia might take, are probably inarguably beating placebo by a significant amount and are incredibly important for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then even when it comes to depression, the weak performing interventions that we have, if you look at how they're measured, they're broadly measured by these surveys that have some indication of someone's, that it's a construct that has some indication about how someone's feeling. When you look at harder outcomes, you see, and you stratify by age, we see that the effect sizes are much higher, and sometimes in the wrong direction, sometimes in the right direction.
Yeah.
So what you see, and specifically for really young individuals with depression, with attempted suicide, it's actually
yeah, suicide's a bit rough. And when you're talking about mental health, especially with our suicide numbers going up over the years, it's very sad. I mean, I've attempted it once. It wasn't a good outcome. Well, I didn't die obviously from that. Died before, but not from that.
In the wrong direction, and there's an explained reason for that. But with older individuals, it's a high effect size in the right direction. And the explanation for SSRIs and depression leading to suicide is the first thing to come back, especially in younger individuals, is motivation. So, like, one of the things that depression fucks with you is it fucks your motivation. You don't really. There are people who just like they're in bed all day. They can't get it. And sometimes that's what's preventing them from killing themselves.
Sure.
Is that they would kill themselves, but I just can't get out of bed to actually I can't motivate myself to get out of the
Okay, I'm back.
So the point is that with SSRIs, the first part before everything else gets reset, the first thing that gets reset is the motivation. So that there's a suicide risk actually when starting an SSRI, especially in young individuals. So you'll find the effect size is actually with younger individuals it's higher, but it's even in the wrong direction. But with older individuals, there actually is a very, especially with things like post-stroke depression, there is a very, very strong effect size, and it is very favorable to prevent suicide in older individuals.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the second last link I sent you, Avi, it's timestamped. Dr. K goes into how Ayurvedic medicine works when it comes to diagnosing doshas and how that's associated with certain possible ailments. And then in the last link, he actually talks about how certain doshas are connected with like genetic phenotypes and how you can actually predict things like COVID symptoms and severity by using doshas.
Let me just be clear. Are you saying in the first clip that he says that he's used doshas to diagnose and treat patients, like specifically?
Yeah. He talks about how certain doshas are associated with certain physical and mental ailments, and he uses that as basically a framework for determining best treatment. And he in the last clip I sent you, again it's timestamped, he talks about how doshas are actually connected with genetics somehow, even though I don't think he has any fucking evidence for that. He couldn't possibly. And he claims that that can actually predict things like COVID symptoms and severity.
Wait, what are doshas again? Because that actually doesn't sound that surprising, that there'd be some phenotypes that might be associated with some
Supercalifragilistic
Then you're gonna get banned. Why?
So you can just look at what a dosha is. Again, it's this mind-body connection where there's fire doshas, earth doshas,
Yeah, but I'm
wind
asking, how do
doshas.
you determine somebody's dosha?
You can't. It's shamanism. It's medieval medicine.
The question is, how does Dr. K determine?
How would his explanation for how he determines the dosha?
So, he goes through examples in the video. So he says he has like a wind dosha because he has like a lot of ideas that run around his head very quickly. So crap like that.
Okay, so that doesn't sound random at all. That sounds like a personality assessment, basically, like a Myers-Briggs-esque.
Well, again, you can take a look at it. You can look at what doshas are. It's not quite like that.
Well, here's the break. Before we will watch it. We can watch the clips together. But I just want you to know what we're trying to separate.
Yeah, sure.
First thing we're trying to separate was, so you know how like there are certain religious therapists who are still.
He's so fucking butthurt by this, I think. Like, he wants someone to agree with him so badly. It's like, please someone tell me that this is bullshit. And no one is, so I think he's a little butthurt. Build a snowman. Look at my snowman. Come on, bitch. Oh, let me get out of that. Let's get in the fire. There we go. I was like, why is the damage not happening? Man, I hate that fucking spin to win shit. And all of them have the fucking greatsword too. Fucking A. Got tattered armor. He's coming right for me. I just killed this guy, and he respawned, like, instantly. Come on, man. The only reason I don't like the spin to win, guys, is that they have to chase him down. That fucking sucks. They spin like right through me, and then I have to fucking hunt him down. Alright, I need one more dude. Possibly. Is there another thing I can build this on? I don't think so. Oh, no, that's just tattered armor. It's not one of these. Oh, here we go. Oh, fuck you, dude. Hey, you get fire tornado.
Synergy is beautiful.
Oh, there you go. Got it.
What a fast fired up.
Excuse shit, man.
Still practicing
Yeah, like
good.
Jordan Peterson.
I'm not talking about Jordan Peterson, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He, anyway, I don't
will
know.
incorporate spirituality and prayer sometimes, literally, into therapeutic sessions. Yeah. If they're
Yeah.
religious, and they should, if they're a good therapists, they're asking their client if they're religious and if they'd like to participate in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Like some religious therapists might like have a religious patient, and they may say, okay, well, you know, if this would help, and if you're okay with it, maybe we can engage in some prayer, and maybe that would uplift the patient. Maybe that would help in some way. I want to separate that between a type of intervention where someone just says, okay, well, you're from this religious tribe, and if we look at the religious scriptures, it says in this passage that people with this tribe shouldn't be treated this way, and so we're going to change your medicine to this, right? You see the difference between those two types of approaches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way...
Yeah, so
the way...
I'm trying to make the same discrepancy. I'm trying to see, like, is Dr. K saying, oh, well, you have these types of personalities, you have, like, this fleeting thought, maybe that's like a wind dosha, and maybe if you thought of yourself in terms of this dosha, maybe that might be something that can help you get through the day, like, you just realize this is coming from, you know, there may be this type of, like, connection with this fleeting thoughts, maybe that'll help you get under control, versus, oh, you have these fleeting thoughts, therefore you're wind dosha, and also the scripture says wind dosha shouldn't be on Prozac. Right. I'm trying to make that same.
Well, he actually criticizes the use of antidepressants.
Okay, but that's
I'm pretty sure everybody criticizes the use of antidepressants.
In favor of Ayurveda.
Okay, but I'm not. Okay.
Wait. So that claim right there, that's a really strong claim. I'd be curious to see a clip where he's actually saying, like, you shouldn't be on.
It's in the clips.
Wait, hold on, wait. Which one did you link me? Yeah, wait, I want to watch that. I want to watch that one. Is it the one that you just?
I can't stick around, unfortunately. I really need to eat and go.
Sure. Wait, is it the one that you just linked me? The dangers of pseudoscience. Is it that link that you just sent me?
I didn't link you any new ones. I only linked Avi.
Okay.
I think the ones that I linked you, it was.
Okay. Wait. Well, let's wait like
it's either
30
the
seconds.
First or the second
Let's
link.
just wait 30 seconds. Let Dr. Avi listen to that one. I'm curious if he actually says it. That would because that would be a pretty extreme claim.
Which clip am I clicking on? Richard. Which clip? First one.
Fuck, I can't fucking remember now.
Okay,
I think it would be. Wait. I think it's the fucking first or second one.
All right, I'm just gonna send both of these to Destiny. We'll watch them on stream together.
I really have to go though. I need to eat. I'm
so I'm
dieting
sending-
really hard, and I
Of course you do.
need to
God,
fucking
get him out
eat.
of here so we can lower the IQ of this
But
conversation.
take care.
Okay. Destiny, I sent you in Discord both of the links that I was sent with timestamps.
Listen,
Let me know.
just watch them and let me know how you feel about them.
All right, I'm watching it. All right, I'll watch it.
All right, so what it seems is like is that he was kind of losing the argument. He couldn't really fucking think of anything to say. And so he bailed. He couldn't fight for his position hard enough, and I think he was making some claims that he couldn't substantiate. It's just what I think. Could be wrong. It's what I think. All right. That's gonna be it for tonight, guys. You can follow. This will be on YouTube as well. It's on Kick right now, but it'll be on YouTube. You can follow me on at Twitter at abarelypodcast. You can also check out my podcast with my co-host Teddy. We're on Spotify, Amazon, Amazon Prime, Amazon's podcast thing. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Podbean, iHeartRadio. We're pretty much anywhere you can listen to your podcast. You can listen to us there. And we talk about cultural stuff. It's very interesting because he's from Ethiopia. I'm from America. And so he has interesting perspectives. He was a medical doctor practicing over there. He's not a medical doctor here. He hasn't gotten his license here, but he was a practicing medical doctor from a very accredited school in Ethiopia. You could also check out our sponsor, Coffee Brand Coffee, and use promo code Barely at checkout to save 5% on your order. So if you like us, you can go ahead and give us a like, and check you next time. I'll be streaming Monday through Thursday nights. So if you want to come on, listen to it, we'll watch some videos, comment over them, play some games. If there's a game you want me to play, just hit me up, and if I don't have it, I'll try. I'm getting a new PC this week, I think. So it'll be more up to date, have better graphical settings. But yeah, have a good one, guys. See you on Monday.